action successful.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
But it's in red still.
Because even the internet's working on both computers. Let's see if refreshing helps me.
Man, I was saying how great the internet was, and we're dropping the internet.
Now we're back.
We're back now. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do anything. Now it's green again.
Yeah, it didn't even say that the internet was off.
But it was.
Right.
For like a second.
Yeah, weird. It didn't say, but we didn't lose internet on either computer. Usually, like, it freezes or whatever. But whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know what that was about.
The broadcast has ended. That is correct.
Yeah.
You should use VPN. That's right.
Right.
Always refresh.
What's Fabi's threat? Well, he's not threatening anything. He's just going to keep playing a pawn up.
H6 was played.
Yeah. Up a
It
pawn's
wants
pretty
him
good.
to move his rook and then try to play knight d5. So like rook 5 d2, for example. Then bishop takes, pawn takes, knight e5, Papa John's.
Yeah. I mean, I would never do that. I'm not playing bishop c3.
Yeah, but knight d5 is good.
Right.
Looks like Naka's game, those moves have been made. Rook takes, rook e7. Bam.
Yeah, he could win it.
Bishop c6 is equal, otherwise he's in trouble. Bishop a4 is bad, rook takes b7. Bishop c6 looks pretty natural.
I guess
Yeah, he played bishop c6.
he could take and play rook a7, or he could just do something else.
Yeah, it's just going to be a draw.
Yeah.
Rook and 3 against rook and 3.
He's just like pretending to do stuff, you know. Knight b7's a move too, I guess.
Naka literally doesn't care.
Knight e6. He's got ideas. Oh yeah. Always cream frige.
Well, we lost all our viewers because we left the internet for like 10 seconds. Now we have 400 viewers instead of 900.
9.
Yeah, the truth hurts. They were like, I'm not going to push refresh. I'll just go to some other stream.
Right. It is a lot of work.
Tough break.
You know.
He played king f2, walking his king up. The players are both going to be in mild time trouble, but the position doesn't look hard to play. It looks, sort of stayed.
Bishop a4 would hang the b7 pawn, Mountain Dude.
Is this a Naka's game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lose that pawn.
Yeah, rook
and then the other
E7,
pawn.
A7. Yeah.
Losing all the pawns.
The engine says all moves are equal. Oh, Naka has more time now. King f2 was played. And let's see if we have any moves here. King d6. Yeah, Fallujah's comfortably making the time control. And the engine says everything is all zeros. Yeah, nobody's going to blunder here, and it's all zeros. So this game was pretty well played. I don't think it was
Yeah.
ever not a draw. I think it was always a draw. There's no colors. Everything's just green. And there's a blue move because E takes d4 X clan.
Yeah.
When it was the only move.
I remember.
Duda made a move.
I
I saw him do
remember.
it.
Don't worry.
Okay, Duda played knight c6,
And rook
d6, rook
Oh, rook
c7.
c7. Okay.
It says every move is a draw.
So, I don't know. I might play rook a4.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll take c6, and I'll take it, and rook d6.
Yeah, just a draw.
And it'll be rook and 4 each. Yeah. I don't really know what Kramnik said, but I don't think the players are playing too poorly.
No, this is a really exciting tournament. There's a lot of decisive games from basically Fabian and Yeppo. And the draws are interesting. The top players always say that everybody's playing poorly. That's every tournament they say that. They never say, Tata Steel, everybody played great that tournament. They
Right.
They see how poorly everybody played.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. You know, Kramnik might have said that, but
Right, yeah, Kramnik's just being
yeah,
stupid.
he's crazy.
Yeah.
Good old crazy Kramnik.
2300s would get 0 this tournament,
Yeah.
and they'd be lucky to get it.
Oh, 5 gifted subs.
Yay! Thanks, Kramnik. Oh,
Roostage.
thanks for the 5 subs. The top players always say this is the worst tournament I've ever seen. All the moves are bad. They always do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he said that for several other tournaments. Also, Kramnik says he's winning when he's lost. So, you know.
All right.
He's the all.
Yeah, exactly. What about when Ding played all perfect moves against Naka's prep?
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, they played 99.2 and 99.5. Yeah. Harsh. Almost as good as Jeffrey Shong.
Right, it enhances his legend status by mocking everyone. In my day, I would have won this. Oh, they're just banging out the... Yeah, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now they'll have to make one or two more random moves, you know, to get to move 40. But this is going to wrap it up.
Wrap up that gavel.
Yeah.
This game also, the only move that wasn't in green is B4 and G6, like back to back.
Right.
So this game's going to be like 98 something. Yeah, players are playing great, I think, because the games are really interesting, especially Report's game. Every game he has, he's winning and losing, and they're all draws. Those are good games.
Right, except today. But yeah.
And then he lost.
All right.
Yeah, Jan and Fabi are playing great. Both of them.
Oh, they got to move 40.
Mm-hmm.
So now they can finally just trade the pawns and draw. There it is. Then he'll take it, and then they'll agree to a draw.
Could agree to a draw now. They both paid 40.
Right,
wins.
but it wouldn't feel right to take it. And then
Rook
agree to
C7, offer draw.
Then I'll play Rook takes A3 and accept. Hey, what if somebody offers you a draw, and then you touch the piece? Can you accept a draw?
No.
If you touch a piece?
Once you touch a piece, you can't accept. Game ended here. They didn't take
They
that
didn't
either.
take it. Dang
They
it.
drew as quickly as possible.
Hmm.
All right, so we have a draw in the
Yeah.
books. Duda Nakamura. Report lost to Jan Nepomniachtchi. And we got 2 games remaining. One's definitely going to be a draw, and Fabi looks close to winning against Radjabov. Okay, so he played Rook C7. The engine says, boo, boo. Now it wants to play here with this idea, the knight d5 idea, but he played this move.
Also knight d5.
Yeah, now we're going to take on c3 for sure.
Yeah,
It,
knight
it,
d5 's
it
too
prefers
strong.
this a lot more, so you can take with the rook. Yep, he did take. I mean, with the good bishop and the extra pawn, he probably figures he should win. Black is so passive.
Yeah, but his structure is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he ruined his structure. It's true.
Mm-hmm. That's a technical hurdle.
Yeah, the engine wants to walk up here,
Mm-hmm.
kick that knight out, get the king to an active square. Bishop is just great forever. Such a good bishop.
They are allowed to draw by not agreeing to a draw before move 40. They can only agree to a draw after that.
B1, knight c7, knight b4, rook a8. Now this looks like Ali Rez is playing for the win.
Yeah, of course. Outside, even if he loses the pawn, it's a draw.
Well,
But,
I don't
you
know.
know.
I don't know about that. Probably lose then. 'Cause
Right, I
he's
guess.
a young player. Can't play
It
any
should be a
games.
draw.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, we've been streaming for about almost 4 hours now.
Mm-hmm.
We just, the internet went out for a second, so it restarted it. That's why it says only 10 minutes. Or
Yeah, I was praising the internet, then it went out.
Right, that is what happened. Although still, somehow I think it wasn't the internet. I think it was OBS. But that's just my theory. Yeah, I mean, I think that, Alareza doesn't have a serious chance of winning the tournament. So, if I were him, I would just play chess, that's all.
There's only two people who could win this
Yeah.
tournament. Jan and Nepomniachtchi. And Fabi.
Oh, never play f6. But that move makes a lot of sense because he's sticking the pawn on f5.
It says knight g4 check exclam.
Ooh. Missed
And
that
then knight
one.
f6. It says this move's not good. Knight check. See, how's this endgame?
No, not a win.
This ending says is a draw.
No way. Yeah.
Then king moves, then back here.
Mm.
I wanted my bishop here the whole game. What happened? It's hard to reposition your knight when you think your knight is so good. This is still better for white, but not as better as it was. Yeah, king f4, still white's better. Never play f6. It really hates f6, by the way.
Oh, well, welcome, Creative
It
Handle.
really hates f6.
Right, because never play it.
Now you give all your squares away.
Oh, even g8 and e8.
Yeah, that's a checkerboard. King g3. It says great move. What? That's a great move? It's all right.
That's a good point, Kearney's.
All right, they got to make 10 moves, and they both have 5, 6, 7 minutes. So they got to play fast. This game could be over at move 40 because there's mistakes made. Go, Mayor Quimby.
It's not the mayor's fault that the stadium collapsed. Let's see.
E5 check. Exclam.
Oh.
I just said exclam.
Huh. What?
The engine line is takes.
Check.
Rook d1 check. King e6. f5 check. Although this is also a draw, by the way. It's taking.
Well,
King f6 check. King e7. Rook d3.
I mean, this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna not take the pawn and
Yeah,
play this.
maybe. Because his king has here, his knight has here, his rook has here. Yeah.
I don't think this was his plan.
Yeah. What are you going to do with black? Your knight's trapped. Pawns can't move.
Chow dare.
Yeah, what are you going to do here?
It's chowed up.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. White wins. I mean, it's equal, but he could just take on e5 too, because if the king takes, we have rook. Yeah, this is happening.
Uh-huh.
Here's my favorite line. Check, and then king d6. And instead of taking with check, knight b4 draw. After taking this, it says white black is slightly better. Very slightly.
Yeah.
That's a draw. Everything's a draw, no matter how bad they play. Okay, rook d1 check made the time control. Ali Reza has 3 minutes to move his king.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is all zeros.
Probably. Well, what if he? No, yeah. That's all right. Yeah, it's just king e6, I guess. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this f5 and then move my king up and my rook. Yeah, I like that. White's winning.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't like to be a pawn.
I think
down.
after here he'll play f5. Oh. Yeah, this pawn, I don't mind being down the e5 pawn. I don't worry about that. It's my structure and my d file and my knight and the king going back. I like all of it. Go whatever your name is. So a lot of moves were made because they're in time trouble. King g3, king a7. It says white's just completely winning here. Yeah, it likes king h4. Yeah, here comes king h5, f4, king g6, Papa John's.
Wow.
Yeah, it really hates f6 because
It doesn't like any of his moves that he's played recently.
Yeah, never play f6.
Or even rook ec7 right now. How's it going, Declan?
Yeah, because if you take this pawn, rook takes c3, and we trade rooks, and I play f4, rook d7, I'm just winning. King h5, exclam. Yeah, f6, no good. f3 was okay, but not f6. Never play f6. Yeah, here comes f4, king g6, Papa John's. f6 was a terrible move. It gave away the g6 square.
Didn't see that one is Christoph Seelicki quote, actually.
Didn't expect that one.
Didn't expect that one.
Yeah, here comes f4, king g6. Then double rooks on the d file, rook d7, resigns. Now this says it's like +4. Man, I made the right call in my jury duty.
Yeah, he's just gonna win it now.
Both sides have no time. It's move 33. When they get to move 40, it's gonna be resigns.
I just thought Radrobov would.
No, he played
hold
f6.
steady.
You didn't realize you played f6.
I didn't think he would. Yeah. Didn't think he would.
Man,
play
Fabi
F6.
and Jan keep winning, both of them. Man, if you told Fabi he'd be +3 after 7 rounds,
And not
maybe in
winning.
second,
Yeah.
not even tied for first, but second. Because +3 usually wins this tournament. Man, Fabi's playing great. King h4 great.
Yeah,
King
bang down f4.
f4's great.
Best move.
Every move great. And no time on his clock.
Trying to learn said rook d8 was better than f4 according to the
Yeah,
engine.
rook d8 it was okay. I like f4.
Threatening
better.
check.
Right.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, you can't trust the engine in these positions unless it says somebody's winning.
All right, 2a6, then he's gonna lose for sure. That's true, party.
Man, the truth hurts. No, I said 53% he wins. 43. I said I rule the win in my jury. Pay attention.
Yeah,
when
he
I'm
did say
saying
it
stuff.
like that.
Come on.
Jimmy the Exploder.
F4 double exclam. Kicking out the knight. King G6, Papa John's. Yeah, there's no long run for black. In the long run, black loses everything and resigns. This king does nothing.
He just had to hope that white couldn't infiltrate, but white is infiltrating.
F6, really bad. Not even a joke this time.
That's a pretty good king.
King E7, stopping F5 check.
But allowing all knight checks?
Knight check draws immediately. And this knight check draws immediately.
Yeah, I would play knight c6. But I guess then, I don't know, why not knight c6?
Then king E6, it goes here.
F5 again.
King F6.
Rook d.
King G5.
I want a rook d7, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I thought you meant rook D6 check,
Yeah.
then rook D7.
yeah. Oh, I could do that, yeah. Because then g7.
And knight E8,
Right,
exclaim.
knight e8. Yeah, you got to play it. Right?
It says everything is all zeros, doesn't matter what you play. I assume this is all zeros also, unless I'm hanging something. Let me see, I'll play it. I don't think I'll play that. Yeah, this is also all zeros.
All right, this should go into your never play f6 101 course.
Okay, he played knight D7.
You could have a chessable course on never playing f6. You could show, a Kobe and Fabi.
It says every move wins. It says one way to win is just to push all your pawns and win.
Like the knight arrow. It's a good one.
That's one way to win. I would win that way. I'd try to win this G-pawn. He played rook C D1. Knight B6 is forced. Knight F8 was his point. He's trying to keep the king out. But it says knight F8's +6.
Because knight...
Because rook D8.
rook d8.
It says knight B6 exclam. Then king here resigns. Man, harsh. No, he played knight B6.
Dang.
And neither player lost on time yet.
Wait, what are they? 5 moves to
Five
go?
moves to
wow,
make.
This is kind of tough.
He defended his pawn, sort of.
Right. Yeah.
Knight a4 was correct.
They're playing pretty well, considering they got no time, and I don't understand any of the moves. Still 2,300.
It wants to play bishop f3, and then if knight takes a3, and then continue on.
Yeah,
with
I
our
guess. Oh, Pawn Slinger with 5
Hey,
subs.
thanks for the 5 subs. Another train.
More like Sub Slinger, am I right? Slinging out these subs.
Sub slinger. I mean, it says everything wins. I mean, I have a king and you don't. I mean, it's going to be even material, and I'm going to have a king on g6, and your king's on a7. Yeah, king g6. He literally didn't care about his queenside pawns. The engine doesn't like king g6, but, you know, whatever. Now it wants to play bishop f3, giving this pawn away.
Told you guys bishops are better than knights.
He's going to play bishop f3, giving his pawn away? Wow. Actually, when he plays rook d7, I'm threatening this. Damn, that's harsh. Yeah, he did play bishop f3. Yeah, he wants to play
Great
rook
move.
here and then take this.
Yeah, he's just going to win with his f-pawn, I guess.
Also, rook takes g7 wins. Yeah, these pawns aren't queening. The f-pawn, these pawns are queening. Okay, this is move 38. The players have 2 moves to make in less than 2 minutes.
Just going to bang down rook d7 right now.
Yeah. Man, we're doing it again when we're losing internet for half a second.
Bork. What about Brack?
And we're back to normalcy again because Duda and Rapport have the same score. 1 loss and 6 draws.
Yeah.
It's still doing this.
Gah.
And the dogs bark whenever that happens.
That's true.
It's weird the way that's going on. Let's see how my thing is. It's red.
Red. Oh, yeah, it says F in the chat. Yeah, come on. Maybe you could restart OBS, maybe. Well, we're back, but...
Nah, then it's a new stream. That takes forever.
Yeah.
No, it's the internet going down for a second.
Yeah, why are the dogs barking at the same time? The
It
internet
does
goes
happen,
down.
right.
What are the odds of that?
They know. They're like, wait a minute,
Right.
something's off. Okay, let's see what actually happened. Knight takes.
Stop barking. It's going to break the internet.
Knight c3. He can take either way on g7. He's +4.
So,
Also
yeah,
can take either way.
king takes, he can't ever take f5, no matter what. So he could play king takes. Rook takes, though, he could trade rooks and take on f5. No, but then the knight's still hanging.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Fabi
So-
didn't care about his a pawn. He's like, I want to win on the king side.
Who needs it?
Yeah.
Who needs it?
Fabi with 30 seconds left to make one move.
Just one?
And there's the same.
Oh, he has to... Oh, yeah.
Rook
just
takes and
one.
king takes are both +5.
Yeah, so he'll play one.
King
He did.
takes.
He did play one. It's kind of lucky when both the moves are good. All right, now they both got an hour, so they'll never move again.
He played b4. Yeah. And they made time control.
It just says +5, so he wins.
Yeah, it says king f6 is winning and rook d2 is winning. And I guess there's other moves that win also. Yeah, after king f6, b3, rook d2, it says a5.
Maybe Karen's back, huh? Sounds like it.
It's 1 o'clock and there's noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like she's back. Any minute now, it'll be Karen.
Hikaru says he wouldn't be happy here as white. Yeah, white's completely winning.
Yeah, what?
Maybe Hikaru wanted to draw.
Yeah.
Okay, back to this game. Knight c6 was played. That was move 41.
So now no one will ever move again.
Here's my favorite line. King f7 equal. Hanging the knight.
King d6? Oh,
Rook check
not
first.
even.
I'm not sure why.
I know. Rook a7. King
Oh.
d6, rook a7.
Rook a7 resigns.
Pretty good at tactics, too. So yeah, you got to check. And then, but why not rook a7 after that, then?
Well, where are you going?
Okay. I don't care. E2, sure.
Okay.
Rook c3, I guess. No, rook
Are you
a7.
ready for this? Ready?
Okay.
Wow.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe the engine?
Yeah, it's a draw because you trade and the knight before, but you play EF and then you can't. Even that's good for black.
Right.
Because your knight can't do anything, and then you're down a pawn on the king side.
Yeah, the engine says knight A5
Yeah.
and rook takes are the two best moves.
Yeah, this is insane.
I wonder if this loses. No, this is a draw too.
Should draw, I guess. Yeah.
It says G5 is best.
Right,
Stopping
stop
G5.
G5. Yeah.
Wow.
That might be
Also
is that the only
H4.
move? Oh, okay. You got to stop that though. Yeah.
Let's say I go here. Yep, G5 resigns.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't let him have two passed pawns there.
What else? Anyway, none of that's going to happen. That was just fun.
What if it does?
No.
No, he won't play King F7 on purpose, losing the knight?
No.
To try to do that? That would be pretty funny, though.
Now that they're on move 41, nobody's ever going to move ever. Is there more coffee?
There should be a little more. Yeah. You want some more?
Yeah. I think this is my newest cup.
Yeah, that's true. I could take the other cup.
But then you won't know which one to put it in. As long as you empty them both, I don't care.
Well,
also, I take 3 cups.
Be done with this.
Oh, that's how.
That's why.
Yeah, that was easy.
They're stackable.
Yeah, see if Karen's home.
I mean, she 100% is, unless the dogs can run water.
They can. This reminds me of a Kasparov Anand game where they both were queening on both sides, and the guy with the bishop just won easily. I don't even know which one it was. That was Kasparov. Yeah, basically white has a king and black doesn't. Black's king is just sitting there doing nothing. White's king is taking everything. Yeah, it says rook d2 is +7 and king takes f6 is +7. I mean, basically this pawn queens or it doesn't. When it doesn't, white just wins because white's queening his f-pawn. But yeah, rook d2 seems to stop that. And if you trade rooks and I take, I have rook b7 check winning the pawn. There's actually a line it's giving where black queens would check and white hasn't queened yet and white's winning. I'll show you the line it's giving. It's pretty cool. Let's see, what was the line where I queen? What did it play? Yeah, it's... No, because I queen here. How do I queen with check? How does the king get to g6? I gotta figure this out. King b... Oh, this is actually... No, this isn't the game. I saw a line where he queen with check, and now the line's gone. No. I had to start with b3. Oh yeah, it's king g6. I'm sorry. King g6. That's the line. Yeah, here's the line. And white's winning. Black queens with check, white plays king g7, and the engine says +5 for white. That's what I like to see. Black queening with check, white moving his king, then white wins. Good, good. Okay, none of that's going to happen because after b4, instead of rook d2, which is the line I was just looking at, he played king takes f6. That could still happen, b3, rook d2. The B pawn looks good, but it has to be good. It can't just look good. It's got to... B pawn has to queen, because the F pawn is queening. That's why you play king g6. You're defending your F5 pawn instead of my stupid king g7. Otherwise, you could take the F pawn at some point. Yeah, the engine just says this is over. And this should be a draw. It doesn't even matter what he does. Every king move draws. Thanks, whatever your name is, Schwamp. Made it on the most and which the least? Well, usually we resign at the top level, so I don't know. If you're black, I guess H8. Good. That's a good place to get mated. That question is shallow and pedantic, but mainly pedantic. Anyway, this is exciting if you don't have an engine. You're like, I don't know, both sides are queening. Either player has an engine, they have to use their brains, and they were just blitzing out moves. But, I mean, they know white's winning. But, you know, Reg above is hoping he has chances where Fabi could mess up. Fabi didn't have to play this quickly on the king side. He could have played A3, and bishop F3 and A3, but he just didn't care about this counterplay for black. In the long run, the F pawn just wins. So as long as he can stop the B pawn, he figures he's in time to win the game. And A5, A4, A3 is so slow. But yeah, if I was playing the game, I'd be more nervous about, you know, I probably wouldn't have given up my A pawn. I would have, you know, tried to save my A pawn. But Fabi literally didn't care. Okay, B3 was played, obviously. So rook takes rook wins, and rook D2 wins. Thanks, Sori. You're the best. Grains. But I have a good score against Fabi. Fabi's lucky I'm not in this tournament. I'd be losing everybody, and he wouldn't be in first or second because I'd be losing all of his competitors. So he'd be like, oh, why is Ben in this tournament? I'd be wondering where the Perrier was. Man, it'd be a tough tournament. Always refresh. All right, let's see if the other game has any moves. Nope. I always know that he didn't move because he's in check. No, I have to reload the player. Always refresh. Yeah, if the stream ever goes down for you guys, just refresh. Then it'll work. Go Fabi. Fabi played great in our game that I won, except for one thing. That's right. If Ali Reza doesn't win the tournament, the only one that Magnus would play is me. He's like, I'll play the guy in last or Ben Finegold. He's either one. That's the match you guys want to see. I think he'll play rook D2 because the line it's giving with rook takes, rook D8. I don't think he's going to play that with the check and rook B8 idea. I think he's going to play rook D2. Let's see if they moved in this game. Nope. All king moves are equal. Yay, thanks, Jeebus. You started the train. 5 subs from Jeebus. Thank you, Jeebus. Yay, 100 centidues from Declan, but mainly Jeebus. We'll keep it here. This game's more interesting. Go hype train. 98%. That's a good percent. I missed the opening of a Fabi game. It was an O'Kelly Sicilian. A6 on move 2. And black was always worse. Then black got outplayed between moves 25 and 35. Then he was lost. But his losing move was F6. So in this position, black is worse. And he played F6 and then he's lost. F6 is a terrible move because the king walks up. and takes all the pawns. Yep. Truth hurts.
There's
Thank
this.
you. And she was home?
She is home, yes.
But she was when you...
Yeah. She was and is. But I'll have to,
Thanks,
figure out
Achurantia.
what the definition of is. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're at level 3?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we got 5 subs from Jeebus and 5 subs from somebody else. I think their name was somebody else.
I'm someone else.
Let's see who it was, because they're probably mad I forgot their name. Pawnslinger. Actually, you said that,
What if it was like Muhammad? Like, Jeebus? Or Muhabban?
Right.
I can't do it.
Oh, look at this line.
Okay.
Okay. Are you sitting down?
I'm going to sit.
Okay, so this is if he plays Rook D2 instead. I like a transpose.
Okay.
Okay, so
What's Rook D2 about?
Stop B3, B2.
Okay.
But this could happen. He could play
Yeah,
Rook
yeah,
D2 now. This one I'm showing you could happen in the
I
game.
understand.
Check.
Okay.
Here, white's winning.
Allowing a queen with check.
Yeah, and then King G7,
There's
white wins. Right.
I wish I could play a knight move and then knight E6,
What's funny is if you play Queen F8, King F8, Rook F5 to win the pawn, I have Rook F7. Otherwise, I think it would be a draw.
Yeah, 2 each.
To each his own.
Why not just the rook immediately?
Here?
Oh, Rook B7. Oh,
Bam!
snap.
Oh, snap.
Wow, that's
Yeah, right,
crazy.
right.
That is crazy.
That's not going to happen,
No,
but that's a
no.
winning line for white.
Thanks for the hug, Smokey.
So he played Rook D2, and now we're thinking.
Just what I needed.
I thought he'd play Rook D2, because he could also have taken and played Rook D8 with the idea of check, check. And I was like, he's not going to do that.
Yeah. Go Fabi.
Now, an easier way to win after this, instead of King G6, is to trade here, and then play Rook here, so there's no Rook B5, and nothing's happening.
This is
Now
totally winning,
it's just
though.
resigns.
But okay,
Yeah.
King takes C7, so that you could defend with the
Then
rook.
Rook here.
Yeah, but I could defend it.
Right, now I can queen, and you don't queen.
Right. Knight A.
I wonder if I can play F6 here. No.
Alright, I was thinking that too. But anyways, after like B2 and you push you could just defend with the bishop. Oh, okay, but knight C3.
Yeah, Rook C1's annoying, because I take with check and go
And then,
here.
yeah, right. Just take it and bishop B4.
Check.
Oh, check.
Yeah, we keep letting him queen, then we win anyway. Yeah, he's
this
just winning
wins.
for white.
Yeah,
Yep.
wins. What else?
That's right.
The knight's also like dominated by the bishop. We
Yep.
can't run back. Just take it. Yeah, White's extra king is helping.
Yeah,
win
that
here.
does help.
That is a good point.
He hasn't moved since knight check on move 41. He's been thinking 25 minutes.
Oh, Farusha.
He's looking at that line we were looking
I
at.
can't believe Ding did this. This is good. Like, whoa, Jeebus.
Thanks, Jeebus, again.
Nice.
Go, Jeebus. Go, Karen.
Those 5 gift subs really nailed it.
Yay, it's
Get
Karen.
it?
Did you see the thing? I
Nail.
didn't see it.
Jesus.
Whatever
Yeah,
they
the
brought.
box I did.
Is it big?
Hopefully,
It's
chat
pretty
got it.
big.
Did you want to sit in the front?
Um,
You could if you want to switch.
maybe I could. Have you done any of the recaps?
no.
Because I don't even know what's been happening in the games. Yeah, maybe let me.
All right,
sit
let's
in
switch it.
front.
They just got to move 41 in both games, so nobody ever moves.
Right.
Yeah.
So Fabi's going to win, and Jan did win. Nepomniachtchi. So
Okay.
the same 2 people keep winning every round.
Here I come.
All right, ready for the trivia?
Um.
So Jan and Fabi have won 7 games, assuming Fabi wins. The other 6 players have won 1 game. What was the 1 game? Who won the other game?
Wait, say it again.
Fabi and Nepomniachtchi have won 7 games total.
Okay.
One's won 4, one's won 3. The other 6 players combined have won 1 game. 1 game total. Who won the game? Who was it? There was only 1 game those 2 didn't win. Somebody else won.
Nakamura.
Correct.
Yeah.
He beat Radjabov when you say he's going to win.
I know.
That's the only game won in this event. So 5 players haven't won a game.
No.
And 2 players have won 7 games. And Fabi's like, or not Fabi, and Magnus is like, I'm not playing them. Okay, he played King E6. How long did he think about that move? It was a long time.
Yeah, I knew he was going to win that game.
He thought 20 minutes and 40 seconds. on king e6. Now it says f takes is equal and f5 is equal, and probably knight takes is slightly worse. Look at this position, how everybody's queening. Now, Karen, based on endgame discussion of things that I've told you, who's winning, white or black? No calculation necessary.
Well, I can tell because of the bar.
Right. But white, because white has a king and black didn't move his king up. Watch what Fabi did. First of all, see this position?
Yeah.
White's slightly better and black blundered. I wonder what move black played.
A recent move, you're saying?
Right
or
now, black blundered right here in this position.
Oh,
What did he do? I'll give you a hint, it was a blunder.
a blunder.
Come on, I'm giving you softballs here.
I don't know. Just go ahead.
Come on, you're my wife.
I'm not going to sit here and guess all day. I don't know.
Never
And,
play.
Well, I can't say F6 because it's your
F6.
pawn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, F6 double question mark. You thought it was white's move?
I got confused.
Yeah, that's okay. F6 is terrible because it gives away the G6 square. And now he started singing the Jeffersons theme because he's going to be moving on up to the king side. So now he just walked his king up here and took all these pawns. F6 double question mark. So he walks his king up, kicks the knight out because the knight kicks it out again, and then he just takes all the pawns. And now he's winning. Oh, A5 was played. We have a move. Now it wants to play king E7. Yay. Move the king up. King G6 is the other move that wins. This pawn's quick. That's a quick pawn. And this rook's pinned. So we can't even play rook C8. These pawns are slow. This takes too many moves.
Right.
Now, when both sides queen, white's checkmating black. But white's king is perfectly safe on the other side of the board, which is funny.
It is funny.
Okay, and then this game, he didn't move after king e6, and so forth.
I got confused, Bonarici. Today's been a day. I had to go run do stuff.
Black is down a king. Go hype train. We need more stuff to get to level 5. No, help me, Jeebus.
So how many games finished? Nepo won?
2,
You
yeah.
said?
And then Duda Nakamura was a draw. And then Ding Faruja's going to be a draw. And Fabi's going to win against Radjabov. No, the hype train's dying. We need 3 subs. Stat. We want 3 subs.
So earlier in the game, everybody thought...
Yay, Jeebus helped me.
Yeah, oh wow. Yay, Jeebus. Earlier in the game, people thought we all thought Duda could win.
Duda had a better position.
So what happened?
And then in this position, he played b4. Boo! Making this bishop good. That was like when I was yelling at you at that game you drew in the last round, when you put your pawns against that white square bishop.
At the Chicago Open?
No, at the Vegas tournament. Maybe it's Chicago. Maybe you're right.
It wasn't the Vegas. You
It was Chicago.
You haven't
Open,
even
you're
seen my game from
Yeah.
Vegas.
He should have played a4, b3, crushing the bishop. Then he's better. We got to refresh because we keep losing internet. Actually, it stopped. OBS stopped, and then it restarted itself like 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, I saw that when I was
The dogs
driving.
always bark when the internet goes down, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, now it's a draw because the black bishop is good. Go black bishop. Go black bishop. Keep on moving. Mississippi
It was the
working.
dogs.
Big money, big money.
Yay.
No whammies. $10. Missed you guys. Yay.
Yay, thank you for
Nico's
the
the best player in his chair.
$10.
We missed you too, whoever you are.
And then completely drawn.
Thank you,
A5 was
Migons.
played. All king moves win. King G6, King E7. And then we push this and then mate. Easy. Easy peasy. Yeah, the engine's always letting black queen first, then I queen later and I win. Because this king is no good. And white's up a pawn. Go hype train. He played FE, confusing the audience. I was waiting for F5 check, also drawing. So now the obvious way to draw is knight d5, knight d4, king e5, knight takes b5, draw agreed.
Yeah.
Could also draw by checking. Check, king here, check, king here, check, king here, check, king here.
But when you block the check with the knight,
You
check,
could also draw, then king here, draw.
Yeah. You can't even move your king up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything's a draw.
Oh,
Look,
Declan with
look,
149 bits.
Look at this game. Like, it's all green. All move, likes all green move. Ding's games, he plays perfect every move with both colors. Still never wins.
Black.
Green means good.
Yeah, red, like different colors are like, oh, horrible.
I know. I just don't
Yeah.
know the code.
Right.
It was
And
like
then blue means really good.
Oh, that's excellent.
But it wasn't really good because in this position, you either take the pawn or you lose a pawn. So it was a great move because the other moves are much worse. Every move, Ding plays perfect. Every game, Ding always plays perfect every move. And he's still in last place. Yeah, tough tournament.
I guess he's not playing so perfect.
First round, he didn't. First round, every move terrible. Yeah, Kramnik said in an interview, everybody's playing terrible every move, and it's the worst chess ever. He always does that. I mean, like the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Kramnik's always doing that. I'm the best. Everybody sucks. And then Kasparov's like, that's my line. What are you doing?
Right.
Stealing my line.
Just like you stole my title. Yeah, Kramnik beat him in the match and at bragging.
Yeah.
Russian bragging.
I was at one of the World Cadets, and at the closing ceremony, Kasparov gave a speech. And he said, when I was a kid, they didn't have these tournaments, but if they did, I would have won them, and I'm better than you guys were when I was your age. I was like, what? Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
I was there.
That's
He was like,
believable.
if they did have them, I would have won them, and you guys are no good, but I was really good when I was 13. And I was like, what? And then he said, I didn't get that world title because the tournaments didn't exist. It's not fair. I should be world champion when I was a kid. Man, that was funny.
Poor Gary.
Not like, congrats, kids, for coming to the world championship. Like, don't you guys realize I'm better than you? Stacks more paper than him.
Good old Kramnik.
We have a friend moving to Georgia for grad school. Emory, Georgia Tech, or other? Which school is he going to?
Looks like Nepo's going to win. The tournament? Yes, I agree.
I don't know. Fabi's only half a point behind.
Right.
Georgia Tech. That's a good
Assuming
school.
he wins
I knew
this,
it was gonna be
obviously
Georgia
winning.
Tech.
You did?
Yeah.
It could have been like, community college.
Not if they're moving here to go to school.
It could have been Georgia. Could have been a Bulldog.
Georgia.
And then they'd be going to Athens.
I went to UGA. Yeah, but he said to Georgia, didn't he? Or he said Atlanta.
Oh, that's true.
Then the
you're
next
right.
guy said Emory.
I assumed.
Wait, what? Now I don't know because the next
Go
guy said Emory.
Dogs. Well, typically chess people or tech people.
I mean, I could do a recap, but I'm tired.
That'd be good. 'Cause
You know what I
didn't
did
see
wrong
the games.
this round? I didn't take 2 naps. What else? You want to do recap now?
Yeah, because I didn't get to see all
Okay.
the games.
You pick Rapport or Naka.
Whatever you think.
Report. Somebody type marker recap rapport or Jan or Nepo or
Okay.
whatever you want to do. Ooh, Tensor extension did one too. Yours didn't even work.
It does. There's a delay sometimes.
Okay. Hey everybody, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here with round 7, the last round of the first half of the tournament. The players play the only player they haven't played yet. Jan Nepomniachtchi black against Richard Rapport. They played a Petrov, which we sort of expected because that's what Jan is doing this tournament. And they played a main line. And earlier in the tournament, against Nakamura, Jan played bishop e7, knight c6, Papa John's. He had a bad position, was lucky to draw. This game he played bishop d6. Now, 30 years ago and 35 years ago, the Petrov was my main opening with black against e4, and I've had this position before. This is how I played. Castles, castles, c4, c6. And here, I mainly faced knight c3 when I was playing in 1990. Queen c2 is a move. Rook e1 is a move. I faced all of those. He played queen b3, which is like the 6th or 7th most common move. But that didn't stop Jan from knowing theory until the game ended. So I guess Jan has good preparation because he's playing a world championship match last year. So his prep is pretty good. So he played bishop g4, recommended by the engine. And obviously this was prep because he was playing quickly, and you wouldn't allow queen takes b7 unless you thought a long time if it wasn't prep. But okay. Okay, and this was all the engine line. The engine's like, good. Pawn sacrifice. Then when he takes it, he takes this. And now, if the knight moves away or gets defended, black is fine. So white plays for the advantage. Queen takes b7. Black sacrifices the exchange. And now plays the brilliant bishop h3. I say it's brilliant in quotes because it's prep. And he played instantly. And this is the best move. Okay, now we're threatening mate with advantage. And if you play f3, you should never do that. Never play f3. Then queen e2 and or bishop c5 check leads to checkmate. And you can see the two bishops, what else? And white's getting checkmated here. In 2 moves, actually. So he played g takes h. Now the game could end in a draw quickly. King h1, check. King here, check. And the game could have ended in a draw now. But Report played f3, which never play f3. I wonder what the result of the game was. And this is also can be a draw because after queen d3, the best move is king g2, which he played. Queen g6, king f2 gets checkmated. The engine announces mate in 8. The queen, rook, and bishop start attacking the king. Not good defense for white here. So you have to play king h1, which he did. Queen d3, and now the game can end in a draw with king g2. There's 2 repetitions. What else? Instead, Report made the mistake knight d2. Very unusual preparation, preparing a line that's a forced draw, and then playing a bad move and getting a much worse position. Now black doesn't have a winning attack anymore, but he can win the white queen, and he played queen d7 almost immediately. This is still his prep. Good prep by Jan. Knight e4, knight a6, the queen's trapped. And here, even though it's 2 rooks for a queen, because the white king is so bad, and white's pawn structure is so bad, and white's rooks can't get active, the engine really likes black here. Now, obviously, Report didn't agree with that, or he would have repeated. He thought, I got 2 rooks, my knight on e4 is pretty good, black has 2 isolated pawns on the queen's side, my king will be safe eventually. Okay, it was safe eventually. He gave up. Okay, so bishop f4, the engine hates that move. It wants to play bishop e3, putting pressure on a7 and stopping black from using the c5 square. The engine wants to go back to e3 now. Played rook d1, seems like a likely move. Put it in h. This is the only move in the game Jan played that wasn't number 1 engine move. The engine wants to play h5. If you're like, why does he want to play h5? Well, when you see the rest of the game, you'll know why. I thought h6 made more sense. It gets lift and it stops white from using the g5 square. Knight c5, knight e6. And white tried to play b4 and c5 and shut this bishop out, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't shut the bishop out. The bishop had other avenues to attack. Now h5, put it in h. Wants to play h4. The bishop is pinned to the f-pawn. So he defended his f-pawn. Queen f5, b4, here comes c5, h4. Now if you take the h-pawn, you run into knight f4, attacking the rook. Now queen h3, next move, assuming he saves his rook, is going to threaten queen takes bishop, queen g2 mate, and or queen takes f3, depending on where this rook goes. The engine line, if you're an engine, is rook d4, queen goes to h3, knight f6 check, Oh, I'm sorry, that's not queen h3. I apologize. Knight g6. If queen h3, knight f6 check, and rook takes knight saves white. So we play knight g6, threatening the bishop and the pawn. Knight d2, saving them both. Saving the pawn, saving the bishop. Takes. Queen d3, threatening everything, even the stuff it doesn't threaten. Knight f1 is the best move according to the engine. Queen takes a3, and white is just lost. White is too passive, no coordination. The b4 pawn is hanging, and white's king is a sitting duck. So instead of bishop takes h4 losing, he played bishop b8. That's the longest move on the board instead of the shortest move. Knight g5. The engine didn't like knight g5. It still said that black was winning. It wants to play rook d to e3, still winning for black. He wants to play rook 1 to e3. I apologize. Still winning for black. He played this move. You can't take with the rook because queen takes f3 check. Queen f2. Now the problem with bishop takes a7 is now your rook is pinned. So if I play h3, you can't take my pawn because I take your bishop. However, queen g2 mate is annoying. So you have to play rook g1, then bishop to d6, threatening mate, and the truth hurts. Hurts a lot. And now the engine just gives his bishop away and says, oh, well, I'm down a bishop. So he didn't take on a7. Instead, he played h3, which is the engine move, stopping black from playing h3. Bishop e7. Remember I said black has different avenues for his bishop? He can't go to d6, c5, or b4, but he can come in this way. Bishop h2, trying to defend. Trying is the first step to failure. Queen d2, queen d3, and everything is loose, and the king is no good. Terrible. Bishop e3, let's trade bishops. Ish don't think so. Bishop. Now 4 pawns are hanging. What else? H-pawn's hanging, and it's not even attacked. That's how bad it is. He takes a pawn, gets a pawn for his troubles. h3, put it in h. Notice Jan played h6, h5, h4, h3, threatening h2. h2 is annoying. Bishop g1, bishop h4, and now we're threatening queen f3 check winning, and there's no defense. If you play rook e3, you hang mate in 1. If you play bishop f2, you hang mate in 1. My favorite variation, you ready? This is my favorite variation. If rook f2 is my favorite variation.
You said.
h2. God damn. Man, I wish I could play h2.
That is fun.
Now if bishop h2 mate, and if rook h2, it's worse than mate. Now you got to play down a queen. So after bishop h4, report resigned. Jan won the game. He's in clear first. Obviously, he was in clear first before the round. And here's the shocking part. Are you sitting down? Mm-hmm. There's no increment, and there's no delay. And when the game ended, Jan had more time than he started with. How did that happen? Exactly. No increment, no delay, but he still had more time. Einstein's confused somewhere. That's because they made move 40, so you get an extra hour, and Jan used less than an hour to play all 40 moves. So now he has more than 2 hours, and he started the game with 2 hours.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So he showed Richard Rapport who was the better player, not Rapport. So Rapport's first loss after 6 draws. Jan has finished the first half with 4 wins and 3 draws. Crazy, 5.5 out of 7. And that's our recap for this game from round 7. Jan Nepomniachtchi winning against Richard Rapport. You can watch the coverage live on Twitch, twitch.tv/GMBenjaminFinegold. And thanks for watching. Bye, YouTubers.
Hey, do it, Kappas. Okay. Can do it.
Do it to it. That was a good recap. It's just bye for YouTube, not for Twitch. We'll still be here because there's still games going on. At least 2.
Draw. All right, let's see if there's any moves this game. King e6, also winning.
Yeah.
Defending his pawn, defending his rook, and now he can queen.
Push it real good.
And also it avoids all the knight checks. I like king e6. That's a real human move. Okay, now the engine move, confusing Karen, is king a6. The only idea behind king a6 is to unpin our rook. So eventually we can stop the pawn from queening.
Yeah.
Rook takes d7 was played. Rook takes d7 check, exclam. King a6. Now it says every move wins, including letting black queen first.
If king b6, rook b7 check.
Man,
We'll
black
take
has
the pawn.
black has queen a2 check and queen g6 check, and it still says white's winning. And queen e1 check, which I didn't see.
So queen g6, king e7.
Queen
Is that
f6.
But then, oh, I thought I could play rook c6, but obviously not. Dang. Yeah, there's nothing to do.
We're gonna have another like queening a pawn versus
Yeah.
queening another pawn, and we're gonna
Alright.
sack the
Win.
rook.
This should
Yeah,
win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
2.
that's right.
The
First blood.
re-queening.
So that's one way to win is to just queen. He's not going to do that. He'll probably play rook d8. Then he's threatening rook check, rook takes pawn. So you can't play b2. This is +8, and this is only +7.94.
Terrible. Hey, what about, is rook b7 not a move? Maybe there's, I
Exclam.
was a little afraid.
Knight b5, black's better.
Yeah, because I can't play bishop e2 anytime. Right, so the point, okay, but rook d8, then if knight b5, what is different?
Then f6, never play f6.
RIP computer?
I have no idea what happened.
b2, bishop e4.
That's pretty strange.
So the difference is that with the rook, okay, the rook's not on b7, so like queening would win then. Because it would deflect the bishop.
Not sure if it would win, but it'd be good.
But yeah, it would be not good for white. But
Yeah.
but now he doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rook is loose on b7, so you wouldn't do that if you don't have to.
I'm still surprised Fabi gave up his A pawn because I wouldn't have done that. How could Fabi play a move I wouldn't play?
Right.
All right, let's see if this game was drawn yet. Rook check, king e4, rook check, knight check, king e7, king d3. Everything is all zeros. One way for the game to end is check here, rook a4 here. That's how a game of chess should end.
Yeah, because white has a hard time avoiding this. Moving over to the king side won't help. It'll just make the b pawn scarier.
This game is definitely going to be a draw, even if it's not. Although Farouza's trying to lose. Look at the time situation.
Right.
So he's trying to lose, but it's going to be hard.
He'll try to try.
By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if Farouza loses.
Yeah.
It's probably like
He's trying to
15%.
win.
Right, he's trying to do something, and he's
Yeah.
never moving, and he might go crazy.
Or he should just be trying to learn, exactly.
Right.
Exactly right. Well, he could have protected the a pawn, like he could have moved his bishop preemptively instead
Right,
of
and
like
played
doing what he
A3.
did and then played a3
Right.
after knight c3. You know, whenever that was.
Now Fabi's choking on his own rage because it's not easy to win for a human. The computer's all over this position. The computer's like, Fabi's playing great, everything's great.
Yeah.
But if you're a human, you're like, man, this is getting scared over here.
Yep.
Pawns are tough.
Yeah, I'd be afraid I messed it up. Mm-hmm. What if he still draws it? Then I was right the whole
Red
time.
draw, Brav.
Yeah.
Then Jan's looking like the favorite.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of traffic when you drove somewhere?
Not too bad.
Good, good. Yeah, I got to drive to court in rush hour. Then when court was over, I drove home in rush hour.
That's good. They timed it perfectly.
Yeah, the judge even said that. Now your service is over. Now you can drive home in the worst rush hour. Yeah, you can see how it says we've only been up for an hour because we lost the stream for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. It just restarted. And said it's working.
F6.
Never play
The
F6.
sharpest move.
I'll try to call him.
That's good if they
He
both
is gonna
queen,
do it. I
they
mean-
trade queens, and they both try to queen their A and F pawn.
Yeah, he's gonna let him queen and
Yeah.
let him check him.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, Fabi can calculate.
Yeah, when you calculate that well.
Yeah, he's like the rook and the knight can't do
You trust,
anything.
you trust
These
yourself.
pieces can't attack the white king.
This is okay. He can queen.
He has to let him queen, right? There's nothing else to do. After b2, he has to play f7. Shocking.
Good old Finland. That place is finished.
By the way, if you play rook here and rook here,
Okay.
then rook b7 x claim.
Right, I was thinking bishop b7, but you can just move your king. So rook
Now it
b7.
says this, this, this.
Well, I'll win this, right?
Queen check, and the king can't go to the c file.
Right.
Yeah, this should be pretty easy win, I think. This pawn's
Yeah.
too good.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Still
Says
seems
plus
like a
8.
tough win
Says plus 8.
to me, but I guess if it's an easy win, it's an easy win.
Yeah, my king and queen are perfect for blocking checks and for queening. This pawn's good to hide behind.
Yeah, this is a good because the a pawn's not useful, really.
Yeah, we can't queen, and we lose all the end games.
The king,
Yeah.
black king is.
This
an
is plus
helper.
9.
White's king's very good.
Okay, so f6, and now black is thinking.
How's it going, Ian?
Knight e6. Well, he's not playing for a win now because I can play knight takes b5.
Hey, Ian, how's it going?
Well, maybe he's playing for a win.
Yeah, knight f, and then h3. I don't know. I mean, there's no
this
pawns
says
left.
this says knight f5 checks a perpetual, then king f7, knight d6, and it goes back and forth.
Look at king f8 though. Oh, rook f1 maybe.
Playing both sides playing for the
Okay,
win.
rook f4. I mean, there's just no way that
Because
if we
Farouj is
work
having a bad tournament, and because my pass pawn's on the 5th and yours is on the 4th, and I have 57 minutes to 20, I would try to keep the game going if I was white. Not if I was me, but if I was Ding. I'd be like, Farouj is having a bad tournament, and he's getting in time trouble again, so let's help him.
No, Ian's playing very ambitiously and confidently.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been here before. You know, he knows what it is. And he's taking his chances, and he's defending when he's lost very well. So, you know, just in the critical moments, he's steadier than the other players. Except maybe with the exception of Fabi. Unless
Yeah, Fabi Jan
messes
are
us up.
obviously playing way better than everybody else.
They're just like, their nerves are very solid.
Did you want to do another recap? We could also do a NordVPN. Are we gonna do one this stream or not? Do
Yeah,
one?
you need to do one pretty much every stream.
Okay. Can you and Spencer do it? I'm tired.
Possibly. I thought we were going to do the recap first, and we just got another move.
Yeah, we can do a recap. Knight f5 check was played. Always play knight f5. Yeah, it's pretty drawn.
Yeah.
This game is not pretty drawn. This game is
No.
just pretty. These positions are a lot easier when you have engines. When you don't have engines, you're like, I hope I'm right, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose.
Scary.
By the way, I don't know if you remember, there was a game, Rook and Bishop versus Rook and Knight, where they're both queening. And it was like a non-Kasparov World Championship match. And the side with the Bishop just won easily. Like, the Knight side resigned. Like, without even trying to queen. Thanks, Crazy G.
500 bits.
Could somebody find that game? I didn't make that game up. I think Kasparov won, and I think he was white. And I think he had a rook and bishop against a rook and a knight, and he was queening on the king's side, and Anand had passed pawns on the queen's side, and Anand just resigned. It reminds me of this position. I didn't make it up.
Who was the opponent? Sorry.
Anand and Kasparov.
Okay.
Yay,
I don't remember
crazy
that
egg.
Yeah, I didn't make that game up. It exists. I think it was the World Championship match, but I could be wrong. Pretty sure it was. In fact, it might have been an open Rui. Yeah, let me try to find it.
Good old open Rui.
Let me try to find it. Kasparov, Anand, open Rui.
You could look contest based too.
Yeah, see? Everybody says I'm crazy, right?
Nobody
Somewhat
said you were
similar.
crazy.
But I did good. I got the opening
Well,
right, the tournament right, and I
not
got
today.
and I got this right.
Yeah, that
Look,
was
look how
great.
right I am.
You're right about all that.
Yeah, and he just resigned. He's like, I give up. I can't do nothing.
Yeah, White's
Yeah.
pawns look good.
Here he gave up.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I didn't make it up. I mean, everything I said about that was right. Paste. There's the game, everybody, that I was talking about. But it was good. I got the right event and the right opening. And it was like queening and rook and knight versus rook and bishop.
Yeah, he was ruined. That's right. Because there's a Rui Lopez.
I might hang a piece every move, and my rating goes down 100 points a year, but I still know everything that ever happened.
Mm-hmm. Let me see that. True. So what do you want to do? One of the recaps?
Yeah.
And then we can do
Yeah, there's only one other recap to do.
add right.
Okay, we'll do Duda versus Naka. So you got to do stuff.
All right.
Unless tensor extension beats you to it.
I got it.
La da 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 dee da da Duda.
Oh.
Yep. Wait, somebody tried to beat you, but they're not a mod. They just wrote it before you did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here with recaps from round 7. We're going to look at the game Duda versus Nakamura. Let's have a look. The first game, Nakamura played this event that didn't start e4, e5. So we have a Nimzo Indian. Queen c2 has been the most popular move for quite some time, but e3 is second most popular. And they played one of these lines where somebody gets an isolated pawn. It could be white, it could be black. In this game, it turned out it was white. We've seen positions like this a lot. White's is slightly better, just slightly. White threatened checkmate. There's a chess coach I know who said whoever threatens checkmate and won first has the advantage. So the engine does say white's a little bit better. Now Karen was perplexed here. She's like, knight g6, knight g6. And I couldn't do the stream anymore. She was so loud. I was like, stop. Right? Is that what happened? Instead, he played f5, weakening his e6 pawn. And Karen went, boo, boo. I used to root for Naka. Now I'm rooting for Duda. Okay, and Duda played bishop b3, putting pressure on this diagonal. The engine says f5 is fine. Black is slightly worse. Queen b6, attacking the bishop. Knight takes d5, defending the bishop. Takes, takes, takes. Bishop f4. Duda's trying to get a good knight versus bad bishop scenario. Now, you're not forced to take the bishop. In fact, you wouldn't want to because the knight wants to go to f4. So Naka took his useless rook on a8, put it on e8, good square. And in this position, Duda played a move the engine wasn't thrilled with, g3. It wanted to play something like queen d2 or take the bishop first and then play knight c3. But Duda wanted to play knight f4, and he wasn't going to be stopped. Bishop f4, knight f4, rook e4. This was the antidote. The engine thought Naka defended correctly here by doing this, and now the game is just equal. If we take this pawn, we can take either way on d4, probably with the queen, and it's just too boring of a position for anybody to win. Duda wanted to win with the good knight versus bad bishop, so he played rook e d1, protecting his pawn, threatening this. Now Naka made a very slight inaccuracy according to the engine. Naka probably won't agree. He should play bishop a4, activating his bishop, attacking the rook, but he played bishop c6. h4 was played. Again, the engine wants to play bishop a4. Doubles rooks on the e file. And now, after queen c3, ostensibly to play knight d3 later and get the knight to a good square, and possibly even queen c5 and try to get a good endgame. And probably most important, to play rook e1 and kick the rook off of e4 and try to take the e file. $3. Thanks, Farty Party. Instead, black played g6 instead of making another kind of waiting move. And the engine doesn't like this. It's too weakening, it says. And in this position, after g6, where finally the engine says white is clearly better, white made quite a bad move here. White should play a4 and then play b3 and really crush this bishop. The bishop's just going to sit on c6 the whole game. Instead, white gave black a chance, and you don't have to ask Naka twice. After b4, okay, if it's white's move, but it's okay. We could play a4 or queen b3, but it's not white's move. Black plays bishop a4. Black's bishop is in the game now. Queen c6, and our bishop isn't just stuck here on c6. Queen c5, trying to trade queens favorably, but if you trade everything, it's going to be a draw. And Naka said, draw? That's just my game. So he traded rooks, traded queens, put the bishop on c6, Papa John's. He said, you can't win. I just sit here. So Duda wanted to win. Duda has the good knight versus bad bishop. So he said, let's trade rooks. And Naka said, how about I win your d-pawn? Let's do that instead. Duda defended his d-pawn, knight e6, bishop d7. No, I'm going to take your knight, then I'm going to take the d-pawn. Duda played knight d8, attacking the pawn on b7. Rook takes the pawn on d4. Now in this position, white can play rook e7, which he did, or he can play knight takes b7 if he really wants to win. Unfortunately, it's not clear what white should do now. White wants to play rook e7, obviously, so we can play king f8. We don't play king f7 because knight d6 check, and we want to play rook c4 anyway. Stopping the rook from infiltrating, the rook has nowhere to go. And after like rook c4, d4, bishop c6, eventually black's going to be better. That bishop's going to get good. And the engine says this is equal, but that white has to be careful. So instead he played rook e7, activating his rook. Naka decided to play for the draw because it is a draw, bishop c6. And here Duda gave up. He didn't resign, he gave up trying to win. He's down a pawn, these two pawns are weak. There's nothing really much for white to do. So they just vacuumed the board. They traded all the pawns. And they got to move 40. And before taking the pawn on a3, since this is actually both sides have made move 40, black was allowed to offer a draw, and white accepted, but obviously, frankly. So a very well-played game. The only tiny little mistakes were Naka playing g6, and the response in this position, g6, strategically maybe not right, b4, the rest of the game virtually perfect, and the game ended in this dead drawn position where white was going to play rook takes a3. So another draw. We have Duda at -1, Nakamura 50% after the first half of the tournament. Thanks for watching the recap of round 7 on YouTube. You can watch live coverage at twitch.tv/GMBenjaminFinegold, and we'll see you tomorrow for round 8. Bye, everyone. Then you do that.
Mm-hmm. So, was the g6 so bad because he had a light squared bishop and all the pawns? I didn't really understand why.
Yeah, that opens up the king
Dark
a lot.
squares.
So that makes rook e7 stronger when he played it.
Okay.
Well, now I have a chance to play a4 and b3 and really crush your bishop. b4 is pretty bad strategical move from Duda. Mm-hmm. Come on, Duda.
Yeah, what, a 2300 play that?
Yeah. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, he hasn't moved after f6.
Yeah, he did.
He played b2. f7 is a brilliant move. Wow.
Letting him queen? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
brilliant. Rook d6 also wins, but barely. Rook f5. Yeah, after rook f5, we check. Then we take the rook. You queen would check, and I move my king, and I'm winning.
Just winning.
I hope that happens. Can I just take it right away, or I have to check first for some reason? No, I can just take it. King f6, and white's winning down a queen. That f-pawn's pretty strong. This knight's not doing a good job. It can't get back into the game. So the king and rook escort the pawn to a queen, and white wins. Queen b8, king g7, Papa John's.
Yeah.
So rook f5, no good. He has to queen, but he's thinking. He's like, can I just play rook f5 and queen would check? Anyway, the arbiter stopped the game because it was too exciting, right?
Classic arbiters.
Yeah, Arbiter's always doing that. All right, let's see if Ding and Faruja have drawn yet. They have not.
Wow, really?
Knight f5. Oh, you play King f8, playing for the win. Rook c1, knight check, king d2. Doesn't matter where anybody goes. Every move is equal. Doesn't matter what move they make. Rook c4. I can't tell who's trying to win. I think White's trying to win because White has this pawn on e5. So, like, you know, if knight takes h3, then White has good winning chances. e6, rook c8 mate.
That's good winning.
Does this even lose?
Rook
Probably
A8,
loses to
I
e6.
Rook
Yeah,
A8.
e6 is winning. Huh. Threatens mate.
Rook A8.
e7 check.
King move.
Then it says rook e1 wins.
Threatening knight e6. Yeah.
Just winning.
Just winning.
So he played rook c4. He's had enough. He's got 13 minutes, and he's on move 48.
So you have to make 12 moves, huh?
Yeah, should be able to do that. He played rook f1.
Yeah, not too bad.
Dink's just playing for a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, now knight takes loses to what? Nothing?
96. Rook
Rook
f4.
f4. Maybe it doesn't lose. What are we missing?
Knight.
No, it says draw.
Oh.
e6 is the best winning chance. Yeah, I could see I'd be worried if I was black here.
Yep.
With the engine, I'm less worried. Now here, so I can play knight f4. Oh no, e7 check wins. It said this drew. Now it says I resign. Rook e1 resigns.
Well, he was probably looking at knight e6 and saw that that drew.
Oh, knight g5 draws.
Oh,
Unless it doesn't. e7. Oh, then I have e4. I can put something
Yeah.
on e4.
And even black.
Oh, this wins. Oops.
Oh, I, didn't
I
see that,
blundered.
yeah.
I was trying to draw and I lost.
Right.
So he can play knight h3, but the engine says that's not the best. No, but Dink's trying to win because Faruja has 12 minutes left, and Faruja's having a bad tournament. So he
Yeah.
doesn't see any downside to trying
This
to
would
win.
be tough for Faruja if he loses it. But it is still a draw with good play there.
If Faruja loses and I was Magnus, I would tweet, I reiterate, I'm only going to play Faruja.
As previously stated.
Yeah, just so you guys know. G5 was played,
Good enough,
exclam.
yeah.
That's pretty drawn. All right, let's look at the more interesting game where everybody queened. So queen g6 is way better than other moves because I guess that trades queens, and otherwise black just gets mated. So it says queen g6 or resigns. Yeah, queen a2, king f6 resigns.
And queen e1, king d6, right?
Yeah, it looks like anything.
Yeah,
would win
well,
there.
probably anything.
King f6.
But king d6 is safe, really. Even though it seems like it's crazy.
He played queen g6. Yeah, the reason black can't keep checking is white moves his king away with check after queen f6.
Yeah.
So you got to watch it if you're black. Now he has to win this ending where they're both queening again.
Yeah, like queen f6, queen g8, king e7, check.
Wow, this says king e7 is slightly better than queen f6.
Where's the check after king e7? Yeah.
That's probably why. Wow, he might play king e7.
They're both winning.
He's like, which move should I play? And they both win.
He only has 2 legal moves, right?
Right.
And they both win. That's
And
good.
they're both like +5 something.
All he has to do is not resign, and he'll.
All right, now don't look, don't look at the engine line.
Don't even
What's
I
the
can't
first?
even see
No,
it.
I'm talking to Spencer.
Oh,
But yeah, after this, the first engine move is here.
Uh-huh.
Now, what's the first engine move?
For white.
Yeah. It's changing its mind, but I don't care. I'm just going to stick with that one.
I don't know.
G4.
What?
Exactly. Who cares about
Most
the games?
random move.
Yeah,
of all
Queen
time.
H8 is now the #1 move.
Now you're talking.
Also random.
Threatening nothing at all.
Right. Queen H8 exclam.
Stops the knight from moving, I guess.
I don't
Queen
know.
B2 check.
I don't know.
I mean, queen b2 check would be annoying.
Queen H8's the best move. G4 second.
Yeah, because like knight e4, queen.
Then
B2 check.
black should run his king up, and then white should run his king up, and so forth. Okay,
Yes.
so he did play Queen G6 check, and Fabi's thinking.
This is a crazy game.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Fabi.
Ding played h4, putting it in h. It says every move draws. It can't find a move that loses.
I bet I could.
Or I play a move that loses.
H6.
But not silly. All right, h6 isn't silly.
Right. I still think it might lose, though.
No, all
Yeah, it
zeros.
still draws. All right, what about G8?
You like hung your pawn on purpose.
Right. But I thought I could still take H4, right?
GH, all zeros.
Yeah. Still risky.
You can't
but
you can't even lose when you're like, that looks pretty risky.
Yeah, every normal move draws.
Yeah,
Huh?
right.
What about like B4? HGs might be good.
Knight d6 exclam, the only move.
Even still not winning, probably.
No, but that's the only move to give an advantage. Now rook c3 is forced.
Yeah.
Winning by farce.
What if they take it?
HG, still theory.
How does it not lose?
Rook d3 check and rook d4.
Oh. Okay. Didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's still probably a draw. It only says
Wow.
0.8. Yeah, I think this is a draw. These pawns are so bad. Man, we're trying to lose and we can't.
Right.
But Farouja's better than us. Maybe he can lose.
How's it going, Luke? Too bad you had to work for so long.
What? People working? Terrible.
Maybe he's lying about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long shift. Hey, Endeavoring, how's it going?
Man, 9 hours. Terrible.
I mean, I remember at the chess club, we had like over 12-hour days.
Oh, yeah.
This is my
Easy.
5-hour
up to
shift.
15
For
even.
years.
Yeah.
This is
That's tough.
this is my 5-hour shift. We've been going 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys want to do the NordVPN?
Yeah, I'm a little tired,
Damn.
but
Spencer's good at it.
Nah.
Damn.
I don't want to do that.
But
you're better at it.
You have more energy.
no, but I just
I
did
would be
2
like,
recaps. I'm tired.
IPsec security. You know, that's what I'd be like.
Protocol.
All right. Wouldn't even get to that word.
Yeah, I mean, I could read it if I have to.
You do have to. I like when you read it. I like when you refuse to read some of it. I like that part. You're like, I'm not reading
I
that.
don't have to read everything.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not reading
It's
that.
not refusing. It's
Yeah.
being selective.
Nice.
Read it. I've read it many times. Or once. Or twice.
On Arrested Development, Ed Begley Jr. is dating, Dorothy's daughter. You know, Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. Her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
In real life, I forgot her name.
Liza Minnelli.
Liza Minnelli. But she can't read like the menu at the restaurant. And so she's like, could you read the menu? He's like, oh, yes, of course. And so Ed Bigley takes it, and he's reading, like, dramatically all the dishes. He would be great at the NordVPN talking points.
You know what show he's in now?
Better Call Saul?
Correct.
Yeah, come on. I know all about Ed Bigley.
Well, I can read it when it's time.
And what famous movie that I love was his dad in?
I don't know.
12 Angry Men. He was one of the 12 Angry Men. Ed
Oh.
Begley. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, his dad was a famous
I
actor.
knew that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did know that.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of famous people in that one.
Jack
like
Klugman.
Piglet, the from Winnie the Pooh. He's in that movie.
He's in that?
Yeah, he's the guy's high-pitched voice.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I'm not a big Arrested Development fan. I thought it was overrated. And gimmicky.
What I'm way better at music than Limp Bizkit, though. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Yeah, it really likes both legal moves a lot. 7.5 for either legal move. Let's see about this drawn position here. He played 96, allowing discovered checks everywhere. Karen's like, what about knight d6 check and knight e3 check? See, he's trying to lose, but he can't because rook f4.
Yeah.
He's got 9 minutes and change to make 10 moves. Plenty of time.
Yeah, should be easy enough for him.
All right, time to predict. Who predicts king e7? Who predicts queen f6?
I think he'll play King E7.
That's what I think. I think he would have played Queen F6 quickly if he would have played it, but now that he's thinking for an hour, he'll play King E7.
I think he just doesn't want to trade queens if he can't get checked. Like, if they can't check you, why would you trade queens? You can check them.
Yeah, the A pawn's dangerous when there's no queens on the board. When there's queens on, you don't care about that because you're mating them.
Yeah.
That's true.
But it's okay.
I guess King E7. I don't know.
We convinced Karen about it.
Well, I was leaning towards that before, but that did convince me. The main argument I thought was the obvious move would be Queen F6 if he's going to do that. Would have been quick.
I like King E7, King B5. I like to just both move their kings up the board. And they're both pretty safe, except for black.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing the best they can walking up the board.
All right, let me check the internet real quick.
Good old internet. All right, I do need a taller chair. Although I am kind of leaning forward. But still, if the chair were taller, that wouldn't be a problem.
Man, there is something different with poker people every day.
Yeah.
Did you see Jared Smith making fun, like, racist kind of?
Oh, Kitty?
Yeah.
He's done that before.
With the speech?
He's done that
It's
before.
Like, come on. What is going to have some couth?
Yeah.
Every day
See,
there's
usually
Something uncouth.
when you're being racist like that, you're exaggerating the mannerisms of the thing you're doing. But he's just like doing almost the same. That's like the joke is like that's the way she posts. See, I was always on the fence whether Kitty Kuo does that on purpose or not. Like pretends that her English
Or
is really
disjointed.
bad. So
Yeah,
it's like
I've
funny.
seen 'em.
I haven't heard
But I don't
her
know.
speak.
I don't know.
Well, I've only read her
He's-
Twitter.
I think it's not. I think that's just her English isn't that
He
good.
should stay away from those type tweets.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he's done that before. That's the second one he's done like that.
God. Every day, and of course, she yesterday got accused of being a disableist, if that's the right word.
Just ableist. It's ableist.
I don't know. They were calling her a disableist.
Oh.
She was dissing a disabled person.
Well, I mean,
She said she was innocent.
it was complicated, and she did apologize.
It's amazing there's poker drama, but there's a lot of it.
There's a lot.
Oh, by the way, okay.
Yeah.
So you know how, like, in the past, possibly now, but in the past, Danya would destroy his computer equipment when he something bad and he had to get more.
A couple of times
Okay.
it happened.
So Daniel Naroditsky, Daniel Negreanu, must be something with Daniel. He's doing vlogs of his
I know about it.
of his like playing.
Yeah.
So they're recording it, right?
You mean poker or chess?
Poker.
Okay.
So they're playing the World Series of Poker, some event with a big entry fee, and he's got pocket tens, and there's like raise, re-raise, re-raise. So they go all in,
Okay.
and the guy who's all in has queen ten of spades, the other guy, and then the flop comes, nothing happens much. On the turn, the guy has a straight draw, gut shot, and a flush draw,
Wow.
and obviously a queen wins.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on the river, you got a flush.
Okay.
Okay, so on the turn, he's only like a 2-1 favorite, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe. But anyway, so when the hand ended, Daniel's destroying all of his equipment. He's furious. He's throwing equipment against the wall.
That-
but
That's
he,
disputed by
yeah,
him
but he
himself.
didn't. But he didn't say anything to the other guy like Helmuth would have. Like
And-
Helmuth would have said "F you" and "You're the worst." He didn't do any of that. He just was messing his. And then he's like, "Good hand."
No, he disputes that, and he says on his vlog,
Yeah.
he will be publishing what happened on the vlog.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Come on, you know he did that with his roid rage. Come on.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but he disputes
No,
it, and there's video evidence.
No, but
It's
it's
another
well,
investigation.
I
he
went
has,
to his
he has-
vlog
he has
this
to
morning.
he has to edit that video to make sure he looks good.
I went to the vlog this morning, but it wasn't posted yet.
Well, yeah, you have to edit that shit out, like the stuff where he's breaking everything. No, but my favorite thing is when somebody said something nasty about Daniel's wife, and he was like, "Raw," and I'm going to kill that guy. He went on, and then he got banned from Twitch for like 3 days. This is like a year or two
Oh,
ago.
Negroni did?
Yeah. Negreanu said, if I ever see you, I'm going to do this to you and do that to you. And then he got banned from Twitch for like threatening to kill the guy.
Okay.
The guy said, like, your wife's ugly or no good. I don't know. He said something.
Aw.
And then he was like, roar, roid rage, mad.
If it was Ted Cruz, he'd say, yeah, that's true.
He'd say, yeah, I'm your friend now.
All right.
And his wife's super cute. Nobody would say she's ugly.
Yeah, Daniel will get mad. Which is funny because he's a vegan. What kind of, well, okay, maybe I get mad. All right, this game's too boring. He still hasn't moved.
What about
Right,
Sean
never
Deeb?
move.
Go Sean Deeb.
Don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he's a good poker player. He
I
posts a
follow
lot.
him on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and Veronica Brill take turns. He calls her a slut, and she says, "You're the fattest ass of all time."
Yeah, they
You can't
trash
really argue.
talk.
Can't really argue with either one of them.
They're big buddies.
Yeah.
Dang. Tough but fair.
Deeb has a punchable face. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
Kind of sees what I mean. Yeah, Veronica Brill followed me on Twitter.
That's cool.
Yeah. Somehow, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, Sean Deeb's pretty good.
She saw that I got to the final table in the 28-person poker tournament. So she
Ding's
had-
like, "How do I win?" And the answer is, you don't. And then Fabi's like, "How do I throw this away?" And the answer is, you can't. Depth 43, King E7 is 8.02, and this is 8.34.
If only Fabi knew how little this mattered.
Deeb is the one that got Daniel banned.
Really? Interesting if true. I mean, it's better by
They're
a
the-
tenth
they're
of
the-
a pawn
they're
or
the
something.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
They
if
both
it's
win
one plus
handily.
8.
But Fabi's suffering. That's good.
You know,
As long
always
as I'm not
suffer.
suffering.
Well, if you want to win, you got to suffer a little, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You got to squash that beef, like in Thanksgiving. That's the time to squash
Are we going to
it.
eat afterwards, or we've had enough of that? Ask Karen.
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, if it's somewhere quick, I don't want to spend my day eating.
You always say that. Then we go to Cheesecake Factory.
No, we haven't been there in forever.
Cheesecake Factory?
Well, I don't want to go there again, but
That's what I said. You said we haven't been there forever.
I'm talking about yesterday when we went.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
prior to that, we
Although
haven't
it
been
was
there in
2
forever.
days ago, I believe.
Yeah, it was. Well, we can't get Indian because all the Indians are closed between 2:30 and 5.
No.
Then Karen doesn't want Indian. So that worked out well. Karen never wants Indian.
I mean, we could go to Spice the Top.
then Karen's going to
Yeah,
eat it.
that'd
No,
be all right.
they're going to be closed too.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. They close
These
at
places
this
are
time
closed
of
between
day.
2:30 and 5.
But Karen's right. Like, I got stuff I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been spending
No.
Oh,
3
you do?
hours
What do
eating.
you have to do?
I mean, I'm
Like,
gonna
busy.
stream and I'm gonna.
I like
karaoke.
Jerusalem Chef, but you guys don't like that anymore.
I know. I went there once. I didn't like it.
Just once?
Yeah, I think just once.
Oh, wow.
Maybe twice. I mean, it was okay.
Karen used to like it, then she's like, eh.
The soup like wasn't that good.
I like their
It was
soup.
not that good.
Oh yeah, their soup's pureed.
Yeah, I mean it's too like it's too. I wish it was thicker. I guess is what it is,
Yes,
It's-
something.
Hey, we were all
Jesus.
wrong. He played Queen
or
F6.
not viscous enough. Whichever.
He realized it was
Okay.
very, very, very
It's
slightly
chunks.
better.
The viscosity's off.
Huh, we are wrong here. So
Dang, Queen F6. I guess he calculated forever and said this was better.
You got to calculate Queen E8 correctly, but I guess he did.
All right, because there's no king move with check.
Yep, King D6.
King D6,
Exclam.
so just King D6. But then Queen E3, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Queen E3's annoying, right? But he has a move ready for that, I bet. What could it, who could it be? Honestly, what do you do after Queen E3? I don't know.
What's the threat?
Well, nothing, but, you know,
Yeah.
I'm surrounded, you know, okay, I know a threat. Knight B5 mate? Is that a threat?
No.
Knight B5 checkmate looks like a good threat.
Rook E7. It says Queen E7.
Because now check King D. This is definitely what Fabio's calculating.
What are you
Was
gonna play?
Queen check Queen E3. I mean, if knight b5, king d7 is going to win, for sure. Rook check, but...
No,
oh,
you're in check,
right?
yeah,
Right,
right.
I'm in check. The old check d-check, huh? I hate it when that happens. So, is that the only move? Is rook e7, I mean?
1 second. Queen e6 is also winning because I have king e7.
Right, sneaking back there. So yeah, he has options. Right? He could see either of those.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he played queen f6. He might even play this check and queen.
The other
e3.
game ended.
Oh, what did they do? They must have drawn. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yay.
favorite pie.
2,000 bits. Nice.
Thank you, favorite pie.
Draw. They agreed to a draw here. That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Pretty drawn.
So I mean, this game is kind of boring, huh?
Yeah, that was equal like the whole way. There's no
I mean, it wasn't like super boring.
There's no moves
kinda
that are
boring.
in red or any other color. It's just all green.
They both played it pretty solid.
Let's do analysis.
Oh yeah, cap.
Let's see.
score.
What do I do? How do I do a cap score? I thought that would be easy.
Napo crushed it. The other two games draw, and then Fabi's going to win.
I'm doing a game review of this game to see how well they played. Also, I'm guessing Jan played like 99. This game should have a high score too. I'm going to do this one too. Might as well do them all.
Yeah.
No, I did the marker, but I can do another one.
For what?
I thought you were about to do a recap.
No. I
Oh.
was doing a game review to see how well they played.
Oh,
I can
okay.
do a recap.
Well,
I can do one right now. Yeah, I'll do it. Which recap for this game? For the
Dang.
game? Yeah, I'll do a recap.
I thought you were going to.
Hey everybody, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here with another recap from round 7. We have Ding Liren versus Alireza Firouzja. Neither player has won a game yet. Let's see if that changes. C4, an explosive move from Ding Liren. E5, G3, boring. Bishop C5 very early. A lot of times they play E3 here to thwart the bishop, but Ding had no such ideas. They developed their pieces, as is customary in the Super GM level. D6, castles, and now Black played A5, making sure he'd never have his bishop captured, except for one thing. D4, forcing the brilliant move, ED4. So White lost to tempo to get this like nice sort of bind position. A4, we can't take on A4 because our queen is overworked. So we take one knight, then we take the other. Probably this knight would be my guess. Okay, so after A4, he played rook B1. Always play rook B1. He wants to play B4 and take back with the pawn. Obviously, if you did that here, you would be hanging your rook. For those of you who are confused, which is about 12% of you, this is the en passant rule. Also, B4 hangs the pawn. So rook B1 makes a lot of sense. Queen A5, defending B4. Knight C2. Bishop F5, pinning the knight. Bishop D2, the point of knight C2. We want to play bishop D2 and harass the queen on A5, but our knight's hanging, so we don't do that yet. We play knight C2 first, then bishop D2. He played knight BD7, literally not caring about the discovered attack on his queen. He's like, wherever your knight goes, I don't care. So he played rook C1, confusing the audience, unpinning his knight. Black thought for quite a long time here and played queen A7. Now it looks like Ding is black in one of those Italians where he plays queen B8, queen A7. Or is that some kind of Spanish? Okay, B3, AB, AB, rook E8, putting the rook on the open file. And basically this is just state equality. White played knight A4 to get the two bishops, but that gives up the E4 square. So bishop E4. Now we don't have the two bishops because Black's going to trade bishops on G2. So we have the one bishop. Bishop C3, trades, and finally D5. If you told me earlier in the game, black would play d5, like on move 18, I wouldn't believe you, because d5 was covered by everything. But since the bishop's not on g2 and the knight's not on c3, black gets d5 in, and trades are inevitable, leading to pretty equal position. Pretty equal. And the game never strayed from equality. Nobody ever had an advantage this game. They just kept trading. G4, trying for something. Trying is the first step to failure. Trade some more. Trade some more. Always trade. And here they stopped trading for a while. Now they actually just try to improve their position instead of trading. Then they got tired of improving their position, and Firouzja said, let's trade. And Ding said, no, I'm playing for the win. And Firouzja said, I'm playing for the win. And the super GMs are like, come on, this is a draw. You guys aren't playing for a win. Don't give me any of that. Rook d1 check, knight check, takes. It's just completely drawn. White refuses to repeat, but still a draw. Now, knight takes h3 would be a mistake because of e6, and actually white's winning there. But he just played rook c4 and said, let's trade rooks and draw. And Ding said, no, I'm going to play for the win. And he said, really? You're not going to win this. h4, knight e6, allowing discovered checks everywhere. Now, this is the second time in the game that Firouzja's allowed discovered attacks with a knight move and literally didn't care. Now, if you're at home and you're watching on YouTube, you're like, wait a minute, doesn't knight d6 check and win the rook? And doesn't knight e3 do the same thing? The answer is fries. No, if knight d6 or knight e3, we have rook f4. Aw. So no discovered check works here. And he thought a long time, Ding, and finally he just gave up. The engine gave up a long time ago. And they just traded everything to a completely drawn position. And here they agreed to a draw. Black can either take this pawn or this pawn. Knight h6, knight g6, knight e6, king e7. C'est pas différence. So here they agreed to a draw. A very well played game. I did a cap score on it. Let's see if the cap score is done. Let's see what it says. Is this the right game? No. 98.7 for white, 98.8 for black in this game. I did a cap score on another game too. Hikaru's game, which I also did a recap of. 98 to 97.9. Boo! Why are you playing so bad? Man. So the players are playing worse than ever according to Kramnik. They're only playing 98 to 100. They're only playing in there. Well, actually 97.9. Okay, so very suspicious commentary by Kramnik. Thanks for watching the recap here on YouTube. This was round 7. And you can watch live at twitch.tv/GMBenjaminFinegold. We'll have more recaps with future rounds. Round 8 is tomorrow on Sunday, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye, YouTube. Good old Ding.
All right, and he did play Queen E8.
Yeah, and then I guess he probably will play King D6.
Mm-hmm. He could play Queen E7 to repeat.
Right.
All right, we should do this soon.
Okay. Did you want me to do it?
Yes.
I'm just going to read it. It's boring.
What she means is NordVPN. You guys are great. That's what she means.
No, I mean the way I do it is boring, not that NordVPN.
So I do it
is
boring? No, I do exciting.
Yeah, you're
So exciting.
You do it as exciting as it can be.
Right.
Marker. Yeah.
Good old Nord.
I want to talk to everybody about our sponsor, NordVPN. Super fast servers, and there are a lot of them. 5,259 countries.
See, it is exciting.
Unlock Netflix and your favorite entertainment websites. 30-day money-back guarantee.
Yay.
Protect data while traveling in public, like at the airport or the hotel. Nobody can steal your data. CyberSec Suite, which acts as an ad blocker. No data logging. 24/7 customer support. Live chat, emails. Notice how they don't say phone, though. That's just for old people. Up to 6 simultaneous connections. Double data encryption. Compatible with most operating systems, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, Android. Unlimited bandwidth. Automatic kill switch. Extension for your Chrome browser. IKE v2/IPsec protocol. Security protocol. P2P, peer-to-peer sharing allowed, and they've won many awards. They were selected as the best VPN in 2019 in Best VPN Awards. And that was by VPN Mentor. And they also were recommended by leading iTech and VPN-related sources such as VPN Mentor, as we just mentioned, and PC Mag. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Go
Everybody
NordVPN.
needs to go out and get NordVPN
and you-
right now.
And you were like interesting and entertaining too. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great reading by Karen. Agreed.
Everyone would agree on that one.
Yay. I didn't have to do it. And Fabi didn't make any moves during that.
Wow.
Man, Fabi thought like an hour on Queen F6 after Queen E8 another hour. Man, chess is tough.
He's thinking about Nord.
That's true.
That's right.
This says King D6 is plus 9.5.
That's a good score.
Alabama would be proud. Sweet home Alabama.
Yeah, you made what's her name look like a pile of puke. Caitlin Collins, is that her name? Yeah.
Caitlin Collins makes all of us look like a pile of puke.
And the truth hurts.
It's,
No, you're better than her.
No.
Look better, read better.
I do nothing
Yeah.
better than Caitlin Collins.
Everything better.
I've heard of you
nothing
better.
Yeah, he heard of you and he hasn't heard of Caitlin Collins.
Right. So that's something you're better at.
She's definitely
80% of the chat hasn't heard of Caitlin Collins.
She's super brilliant and
I just mentioned her because she's from Alabama.
news person. Is she the chief White House correspondent? Mm-hmm. She's had different things.
She's the cat's
done.
pajamas? I never heard that.
Works for CNN. You guys don't know who she is?
What, that
She's
fake
from
news?
Alabama. And she's
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlin Collins, makes Alabama look good.
That's not easy to do. But Karen does it too.
And C.L. Smith.
Karen civilizes every
CL.
room she goes into.
That's true. So I've heard.
I love Caitlin Collins. Thank you, Bonarici.
The engine only mentions 2 lines. This isn't one of them, so I want to see if that also wins. Or if there's something terrible with that. The engine's not talking. It stopped working. That's how bad it is. I wonder why it's not analyzing that. All right, we'll get rid of... So Naka's game was 98 for white, 97.9 for black. And Farouja's game with Ding was 98.7 for white and 98.8 for black.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Rook E7. There we go. Now this is a draw now. Rook C6 draw.
Hanging the rook? What?
Yeah, because I can check and play knight check and knight takes and queen.
Oh, I see. I thought this would just be done for.
I guess I have queen E5 check and queen takes H2.
That'll be a pretty serious draw because you can't win the pawn.
So rook E7 doesn't win.
Yeah, rook E7 draw because
in
that
fact.
fork down. Oh, thanks for the sub. I can't really
Thanks,
read
Man
it.
Cub ATL.
Man
I wonder if there's another move that's good, or only that is. Well, queen G8's only plus 2.6 for white, so yeah.
So the only other legal move is the block with the queen, right? But
Right,
then
queen
he'll just
E7
check.
is just a repetition. So
Yeah.
he's got to play here if he wants to win, because this doesn't win. That's amazing. Fabi thinks about queen F6 for however long he thought. Let me look.
He did play King D6.
15 minutes, and then after Queen E8 check, he thinks another 15 minutes.
He did play it, though.
Yep.
Yeah. So he figured it out.
Best by test.
Just making sure. He was probably planning on doing
Yeah,
it.
because it looks like white's getting mated here.
Yeah. You have to make sure, knight b5, there's no weird perpetual when you take the rook, or queen e3. He has the moves that we talked about.
Yeah, this looks pretty scary.
Right.
Good thing I have an engine helping me.
Knight b5, king takes his check. So that's all.
I got a vaccine yesterday, so my arm still hurts a little. I got shingles part 2.
Oh, okay.
Part 2's it. Now I'm done for my
I
life.
still need to get my second booster.
So now you never have to fix your roof?
Right. And I never will.
I'm behind on getting shots.
So we're 5.5 hours into the round, or 4.5? I can't
Sounds
do
right,
math.
man cub.
5.5? Yeah, 5.5. I should go to the bathroom again. Oh, man, getting up's hard. How do you guys do it so often?
I don't do it that often.
Man, so yesterday I slept forever, like all day. Then I went to sleep like at 11 p.m. and I slept all forever. So, I don't know. That's why I'm not taking a nap during the stream. Although I'd like to. So many scares.
It is tough to win against these guys. That's true. Maybe I'll sit up front for a minute.
Yeah. Otherwise, I feel like
chauffeur.
the mom in carpool with the kids.
And I feel like you're David Schwimmer and I'm Larry David.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. So this is the only game ongoing then, and it's gonna be a win for America.
Yeah, I hope so. Go Fabi.
Good old Fabi. Look at him smiling there in that picture. He's not smiling. He knows.
I got back to Twitter. I gotta catch up on my Twitter feed. Pardon
Yeah.
me from yeah.
Is it
'Cause-
still poker stuff?
well, I'm just going down the feed.
Mm-hmm.
There was the one that was controversial.
I'm not really rooting for Americans or anyone in particular. Right, Nepo is not even playing for any country. Theoretically there. Let's see. I think I would probably try Queen E3, but White does have 2 good moves there. Maybe he'll move his rook, but even then it'll be king check. Like I was thinking, if I move my rook here, king check is pretty good looking. Well, maybe not. Check here. This is a very weird position with the kings where they are. There could be all sorts of weird tactics. And all these pieces all around. Both sides resign, but especially black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seems like Fabi's gonna win.
When you say Fabi is actually American, do you mean he's Native American? I don't really understand. I don't think... Is he Cherokee? Oh, so he played rook c4, so now you can't move your king with the check there, or there, because the knight's there. So the king is still trapped. This is like queen e3. It's a similar move. But still, rook e7 is winning. The engine also says this wins.
Yeah, you just mean he grew up here. He's from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Who is not? Naka? Because Naka lived here when he was 1 year old, right?
Well, he's probably talking about like the top American players. Some of them didn't grow up here, but not in this particular tournament.
Right,
of
right.
course.
I guess.
I don't think he's talking about. He's probably referring to Aronian
Good old Levon.
and maybe Wesley. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this position is pretty crazy.
Yeah, Levon. Yeah, Levon.
Good old Levon. The American Lion.
He wears his war wound like a crown.
That's true. He likes his money.
Mm-hmm. Spends his days.
Counting. Classic stuff. Rook a7, king takes queen. It must be queen g7. Yeah, it's the only check. Yeah, and then if king b8, it's mate in 1. Like that. But even king a6 is mate. Or even king b6 is mate. So you have to block and hang all your pieces, I guess. So rook a7, I guess you'd go here. The engine says this is mate, but this is not immediately mate because it trades queens. But it's also totally winning. So rook a7 is actually like pretty killer. He played rook c7 already though. He played this move, did Fabi. Yeah, rook a7 is good. I didn't see that one coming. It's like a pretty quick tactic too, but... Well, rook c7 is also +8, so that's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, so where are the checks? Knight checks. Like, knight here check looks pretty good, but we'll move our king with check. So it's not that good. The same with knight here check. So, or I guess we could even just take. But. So, what about queen checks? No, right? That's a no from me, dog. And then even here, probably not. Yeah. Just wondering about here and then this, but I don't really believe it, you know, just for fun. Because I could block here, you could keep checking me. Also, wait, here takes, there is this, right? Forking? I don't know, maybe, am I crazy here? This is a potential move, but then king check anyway, right? King check. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, king check.
Discovered.
And that's mate, so, yeah. That's pretty cool, though. You can't take it because I fork you. Oh, man, that's not right, is it? If king here, knight takes queen? Oh, no, I thought I could mate you with my bishop and rook, but I can't. I was hallucinating it there. Well, maybe a little bit.
Ben's in the restroom. Hey, break on through.
Yeah, or potentially napping. Gently napping. Yeah, so this move doesn't really have a cool response for black now. The engine's playing this to not get in those mating patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gently napping.
Yeah, on my chamber door.
While the grandmaster gently sleeps.
He said at the bedroom door. Is that part of this poem too? I never really read it.
Quoth
yeah.
the raven nevermore. Or quoth. I've been saying I said quoth my whole life, and then that doesn't even make sense. Because quote, the word quote is similar to quoth.
Yeah.
And then somebody here corrected me, and then, of course, I just now rediscovered it.
What's that?
Quoth.
Quoth the Raven?
Yeah, I don't know why I always said
Nevermore.
quoth. No, I only really ever read it.
It's sort of like, you know, like how a noise that a raven would make. Quack. So that makes sense.
So he played rook c4.
Oh, yeah, everyone hates him. Why? Because he married his 13-year-old cousin or
Wow,
whatever.
rook a7 check.
Oh,
That's a
Poe
cool
did?
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rook a7 check's a cool move.
Right, we talked about that. Yeah.
Rook c7 is the second best
Rook
move.
c7 is
Also
totally winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if rook d4 check, you don't take it because knight b5, so you just
Right.
play king c5 and it's mate instead.
And if knight b5 check here, king d5 check.
Right,
Jesus.
exactly. So the best move is king b5 as my arrow indicated.
Jesus.
Weird move. But yeah, that's why Fabi's taking so long. He's making sure he's not missing anything here.
Yeah, because this looks easy to miss stuff.
Yeah, it does look easy to miss stuff.
Good thing we have engines helping us, telling us that white's winning.
Yeah.
I felt like a little dizzy because I haven't eaten today, but my blood sugar is good. So I don't know.
Good old blood sugar.
Probably just feel dizzy because I'm me.
Maybe these games are so complicated.
Ugh, I can't take it. I think it was all the recaps.
It's like a whirlpool. It never ends.
Mm-hmm.
I would never.
Oh, you got
I would
called a
never.
he?
That's because you're on the internet.
That's the worst
so
thing
you're
that's
a
ever
he.
happened.
Well, he is like obviously the default
Right.
patriarchal
It's a man.
pronoun.
The two sweetest words in the English language.
So if we don't know, then you just get called a he. Me too. I get called a he.
I get called Mr. Boyd a lot. Like when I go to the vet. I'm like, all right, I'm Mr. Boyd. There's already a Ben Boyd. I can't also be a Ben Boyd.
Right.
There's two. Already I have two Ben Boys,
Right.
and my granddad was a Ben Boyd, so there's three.
Suspense.
legit
I
Ben
want you to
Wow,
guess,
now you can
without
clearly
looking
draw.
at the engine, what's the number one engine move for white here?
Hmm. Queen takes H6.
F5.
Dang it. Queen takes
Like,
H6. My lord.
F5 is easily the number one engine move. It's not even close.
Rando.
It's like way better than every other move. Queen H6. Let's see how that does. A4 draw. Rook C7 draw. Man, it says this is a draw. Man, harsh. It even gives this line with the queen ending.
Mhm. Hey, Linder, how's it going?
Wait, what? Wait, now it says it's winning. Oh, King C4. I apologize.
Just winning.
I blundered.
Don't block your pawn. Huh?
And queen takes as a draw? Queen F4. Oh, and I take this. No.
Oh.
I just take all your pawns.
And then you drink his milkshake after that.
Man, if F5 is the best move, I think knight E4 is what you should play.
Aw, people are mean to you, Popcorn.
I hate it when that happens. Welcome to my life.
People are mean sometimes.
Everybody's mean to everybody.
Everybody I know
That's
is mean to me.
life.
Pretty much.
No, but I mean, sometimes people are meaner than others.
It's true. Kobe.
Yeah.
This game's never going to end either.
Yeah.
Although, I guess it will because they have to make 10 moves in less than 10 minutes, so there's no increment.
Yeah.
So to get to move 60, there might be some mistakes. Man, chess is tough. Like, the engine's like +8, +9, +10, and then we look at it and we're like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're playing, you're like, I don't know.
You're 40 creative?
King's on D6.
You know, that's not.
Remember
Not
Family
so
Guy?
old.
When she says, I killed everyone and so forth, and then when she's done, Lois says, you're 40?
Right.
Yes, I'm 40. That's the only part she couldn't believe.
Right. Right.
She says, when I turned 40, the following things happened. Then I had this person killed, then I did this, then I did that. You're 40? What?
38. Okay, you still in the 30s.
Just like me. In my 30s.
40 is the new 30. The engine says after knight e4 and the f5 move, I said white's up 14. Damn. This looks like white's king is on d6. Who knows?
Yeah, Ben did 3 of the recaps.
What else?
Yeah. They'll be up on
Every
YouTube
game has been
any
recapped
minute
except this one because it's not over. So I have a
Yeah.
good excuse. Am I 40 yet? I was 40 yet 13 years ago. That's when I was 40. And I'll be 53 in 3 months.
Hey, Tim, what is this tag team event at World Series of Poker?
2 people play poker. That way they can deal to both of them and Kitty Kuo can get mad.
So, but how does it work?
Like one person makes the decisions and the next person does. Like you take turns.
Oh, you just take
It's
turns.
2 people. Yeah, you're playing. 2 people are
Do
playing
you
a hand.
collaborate?
I don't think you do, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh.
I don't think you collaborate, but I don't know.
I had heard of it. I just didn't know how it worked. Poker Bug House. It's like Hand and Brain.
Oh, he played the best move.
King B5 exclam. Now it says Queen E5 checks the best move.
Oh.
Makes the king safer. The king on D6.
By trading queens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just totally winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah, the E pawn just queens.
yeah. There's no way
Yeah,
that it
yeah.
can.
You have to check on D4, forcing King E7. So he queens later. But then your knight's attacked.
So that is what he's gonna do, I guess.
Yeah. The second best line is rook check, king a4, f5. It's always f5. Just ignore everything and queen that pawn. King b5 is a good move to play with 5 minutes left. He's really making it difficult for Fabi.
Yeah.
If Fabi doesn't win this game, you guys are like, well, he was plus 10 and he's plus 15 and what an idiot. This isn't easy. It's easy for the engine. For human, I don't know, king's on d6. Past a pawn, what else?
But Fabio will win it.
Maybe.
Let me see.
I think queen e5 makes it easier for white to play than now with his king on d6 looking at all kinds of, you check me and I check you. No, he just has to decide whether he's worried about the passed a pawn and whether he can stop it. Or if he cares. His queen is e pawn. Queen sub pawns again. Fabi has less than 8 minutes and Radjabov has 5 minutes and there's no increment and they both have to make 10 moves. It's too exciting. Kramnik said this is the worst played game of all time.
Right.
The only really bad move this game was f6. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're playing pretty well. Maybe black shouldn't repeat that opening. It's tough to play well when you've been playing for almost 6 hours. You see ghosts, you start messing up. Queen e5's plus 11. It really likes that endgame. Yeah, the knight just doesn't have a good square. After queen e5, f e5, rook d4 check. There's nothing good here. Like it's playing knight a4, which is ridiculous. I'm not blocking my a pawn.
Yeah.
I'm not. Why can't I just go here?
Yeah.
Like, why am I
That's what I
blocking
was
my a
thinking.
pawn?
Push the pawn.
Rook check, king c5, rook check. I like that. e6.
I guess I go to f6 so I can stop the checks eventually.
Man, I can't queen with check because all my pieces are blocking.
Oh yeah. Bishop. H.
Yeah, this looks winning.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
Bishop f7 is gonna be pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yep. Yep, he did it. He played queen e5 check.
Nice. He's got this wrapped up now.
If you play
he
king
took it
here,
already.
rook takes rook as mate. It's announcing mate in 16.
Yeah, he already took and.
Oh, I guess the
wrapped
queen's
it.
hanging.
Yeah.
I didn't see the queen. I thought he was trading queens. King takes, loses to rook takes rook. So the guys are playing great.
Even a 2300 would play f takes.
Yeah. Okay, so 7 minutes for white, 3 minutes and 40 seconds for black, and black has to make 8 moves, white has to make 7 moves. Or wait, black has to make 9 moves, and white has to make 8 moves. That was close.
Go Fabi. Agreed. Good old Fabi.
He's got to play rook d4 check and force the king in front of the pawn.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, he's still losing.
Right, yeah, it's the normal thing to do.
Yeah, my a4 didn't help. Yeah, because white's quitting with check.
It's a good idea. Let us check. Well, Nepo will still be in first if Bobby wins.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Yeah, he was in first and he won, so
Yeah. Hard to not be
Yeah.
in first M.
Mm-hmm.
We were arguing earlier, like 2 or 3 days ago, who the favorite would be in a Jan versus Fabi match.
Fabi.
So
I don't know. No favorite.
But Fabi.
Yeah, I don't know. Even. What do you think? You're the deciding
Wait,
vote.
what was the question? What was
If Fabi plays a match with Jan, who's the favorite?
I think Fabi would win.
Americans, typical.
Right.
I think Fabi would win.
That's what he said. Kramnik is the answer.
Yeah, that's right, actually.
I think
Forgot
Fabi's
about
better.
Kramnik.
Okay, so
Okay.
he
They
traded Rooks. I don't like that decision from Black.
at all. Oh, he wants knight b5 to d6.
Yeah, but that's just losing e7, bishop d1.
Bishop, yeah.
That's not even trying.
Yep. Now, even an 1800 would win.
No. Still lose.
No.
Tough.
Like, I've played more 1800s recently than you have.
Recently, maybe.
Yeah,
My points
tough,
are usually
man.
less than 1800.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I played like extra rated games at the chess club.
Like, almost all my opponents were A players at the chess club.
Yeah.
That was, like, the most common by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Still, would Brad Lathrop win?
What about Brad?
Would he win it with white here?
No.
Yeah, he would.
You know he'd lose.
He would.
He'd lose on
win
time.
it. He'd win.
Come on.
You know.
No.
He'd win it.
No. I would never agree that Brad would win any position. He's the one who brought you Donald Trump, so come on.
That is true, but not related.
Yeah. Well, it just shows the way he's thinking. You know.
Yeah.
Not clear. Where's what's his name?
Oh.
Something Adamus. Laszlo Adamus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he would know whether Brad Lathrop would win.
Bishop
Bishop that forks. Hooray.
Bishop forks are pretty rare. But not very rare. Just pretty rare.
Nobody's going to resign.
It's like a
It
pretty
says
good time to
Plus
resign.
56.
Plus 56 is a pretty good time. Isn't that the number that Bender told Roberto?
56-ish.
Yeah, pick a number between
Ish.
1 and 10. If you guess it right, you die first.
Right.
Yeah,
56-ish. 56? That's all I can think of now.
No good 56. Good old Roberto. Tough to pick a best robot, but he's up there. So anyways, e7, knight d6. But yeah, you could just play bishop d1 to b3.
Mm-hmm.
I found a way for white to mess it up. Bishop c6, a3, bishop b5, a2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, messed it up there.
That's a good one.
Push it real good. So it'll be knight d6, bishop d1, a3, bishop b3.
Resigns.
Yeah, you have to resign then. Calculon's a pretty good robot, but don't forget about Hedonism bot.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, there's a lot of going. Tiny Tim, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And also
HACS.
there's Bender.
Well, yeah.
He's a good robot.
I
How's it
assume we were
going?
talking about side robots.
Oh, yeah. Well, the best side robot is even Calculon.
Oh, no.
No, I'm right.
I don't know, Devil?
Yeah, the Robot Devil.
Yeah, good.
he's the best side robot.
Yeah, I also like Donbot a lot.
The game ended. He resigned after E7.
Oh, he did resign.
Now we can see him resign.
Good game, yeah,
Yep.
yep. Go, Fabi.
Yeah, that was crazy like Fox News, that game.
It was. It was crazy.
They're discussing it afterwards.
What about 1x? Come on.
F6 was bad. What's Ben Finegold going to say? That's probably what Fabi's saying. And then Regibos like, who? Who are you talking about? If you told Reg about Ben Finegold, would you know who I am?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, harsh. We know who Karen is?
Well, he knows Nemsko.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
All right, so we can do a recap.
All right.
Ooh, Santa Claus is good too.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's a good
I
one.
forgot about Santa Claus being the devil or being a robot. Hey everybody, Ben Finegold here with more recaps from round 7. The tournament's halfway over. We're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Don't sue me. Okay, so we got Fabiano Caruana versus Timur Radjabov, the longest game of the round. Let's get into it. In this position, Radjabov already surprised the audience, which includes us and his opponent. A6, named after Karen's favorite player, Alberic O'Kelly, from Belgium, the O'Kelly Sicilian. In this position, A6, very rare at the top level. White usually plays C3 or C4. Fabi chose C4 after long thought. And Radjabov very quickly played E5, once again forcing Fabi into long thought. Fabi played knife F5, and not for the only time in the game. And in this position, Radjabov said, "Excuse me while I whip this out," and played D5 after lots of screaming. I was explaining that D5 could be played at some point, but I was surprised it was played so early. CD, bishop F5, EF5, knight D4. Now Fabi can defend either pawn or either pawn. And instead of playing knight C3, which we expected, he played bishop D3. And he said, if you want to take my pawn, be my guest. Be my guest. Okay, anyway, Radjabov did not have real gorilla chess. So he played queen takes D5. And Fabi's like, did you want to take another pawn? And Radjabov said, that's enough. Queen takes G2 loses immediately. Double question mark to bishop E4 attacking the queen. The queen has to move to safety. That looks pretty safe. Nothing else does. Queen A4 check, and the king is no good. If B5, we have knight takes B5. And the rook is hanging on A8, discovered, double, triple check, etc. And black's development is not good. Okay, so instead of queen takes G2 losing, black decided on queen D7, not losing, castles. And here, the engine wanted to castle queenside and still said white has a nice advantage. White has the 2 bishops, and black doesn't really have the what else. But he just developed his kingside calmly. Bishop E7. And now that he can castle kingside, he's moved his knight and his bishop, he tricked us. Also, he should castle kingside. Then after rook takes E5, he's down a pawn, but it's a doubled pawn, so not that great. But instead he castled queenside, very suspicious. Rook takes E5, white's up a pawn, white has the safer king, white has the 2 bishops, but black plays knight C6, always retreat, threatening everything. Rook E3 is very passive, but it's still okay. But instead he played bishop takes F6 with the following variation in mind. Knight takes E5, bishop takes E5, queen takes D3, white's always sacrificing the exchange. And now white has the amazing queen C1, and black's king is under tremendous pressure. And the engine says white's winning. No defense for that black king against white's onslaught. White's not really down much material. White has a knight and a pawn for a rook, and black's king is obviously ridiculous, wishing he would have castled kingside. So instead of losing, he played bishop takes F6, and we have this position where white is just a pawn up. It is a doubled pawn, and I would say his king is safer, so white's just much better here. So the opening gained a lot of time for Radjabov because Caruana wasn't expecting it. But the line that he played just gave him a worse position. Bishop C4. Nothing much happened the next few moves. They were moving around. And in this position, black missed his chance to play knight A5 because you want to take this bishop. And he played a move which looks better, but it's actually worse. He played knight D4, thinking, I'll attack the bishop that way, and this way my knight's on D4. That's a good square. Unfortunately, we have queen C4 now. If we go back to knight A5, you don't have queen C4, trust me. Queen C4 not possible. Now queen C4 gives white this really nice endgame. White has an extra pawn, and the F7 pawn is quite weak. Rook C8, bishop D3. Fabi decided to solidify his bishop on E4, never play F3. The bishop just stays there. White's up a doubled pawn. White has a great bishop on E4, and white could start advancing his kingside pawns and try to get an advantage that way. Rook e7, rook d1, white has a big advantage. And in this position, after rook d2, white wanted to play knight d5. The engine not a fan of putting the rooks on these squares, so we have to take the knight. And after knight e5, rook c1, black blundered the game away. This position is much better for white, but black has some drawing chances by playing knight g4 check. If you take it, the engine says white's not even better here. Pawn structure's terrible. Then the knight goes back to f6, and obviously white has isolated pawns, doubled pawns. Black's very solid. Good drawing chances. Instead, he blundered, making the losing move f6. Never play f6. After realizing what he had done, Radjabov resigned and the game ended immediately. Except for one thing. The problem with f6 is it weakens the kingside white squares, and the dogs started barking now because they thought they were getting some Purina food, but they weren't. They misunderstood the checkered, chessboard there. And so now white has a very simple plan. Put the king on h5, always put it in h, play f4 attacking the knight, put the king on g6, and take all of these pawns. And you might think, that's far-fetched, that can't happen. Oh, it can it? So f6 is a blunder because it gives away the g6 square, puts all the pawns on the same color, weakening the infiltration squares for white. King g3, rook d4, king h4. He plays rook d4 first to defend his bishop, so after f4, you can't take his bishop. King h5, he's like, you want to take my pawn? That's fine, I'll take all of your pawns. f4, rook d7, king g6, and you lose all your pawns. Radjabov tried to get counterplay with b5. He wins the c pawn. Now in this position, the engine was thinking bishop f3, knight takes c3, a3, keeping the a pawn, and we'll play king g6, rook d7 later. Fabi didn't want to do that. Fabi wanted to play quickly. King g6, give away the a pawn, rook d7. Fabi literally didn't care about the two passed pawns. He wanted to take these pawns on g7 and f6. Again, the dogs thought this was the Purina logo, so they were barking.
Hey, I'm going to interrupt real quick. Thank you so much for that raid, Chess24.
Yay, Chess24. Rating during our recap.
Thank you so much. Okay, continue.
Okay, let's go back. Knight c3. Man, my mouse got slower. I wonder if I pushed one of these buttons. That's better. Now it's too fast. King takes g7. And now everybody has a passed pawn. Hooray. And this was move 40 for black. Everybody's queening their pawns on opposite sides. King takes f6. b3. Fabi played rook d2, so the pawn can't queen. a5. I got two pawns, one for each of you. King e6. He's like, that pawn's going to queen, and then I win. And Radjabov didn't like that. He didn't want that pawn to queen, because then after queen a8 check, it's going to be mate pretty soon. And white's queening first. We don't have time to push this pawn to fruition, because we queen first, check, and we could even take the queen if we didn't have mate. So he took the rook, king a6. He still wants to queen his queenside pawns. White's first, f6, b2, f7. And they both queen. Black queen's first. It looks like white's king is in trouble, but actually the rook and knight are corralled pretty nicely by the bishop and the pawn. There's no checks with these pieces. And white's threatening queen a8 check, winning immediately with mate or winning the queen. And white's still a pawn up. Queen g6 check is forced. Fabi thought a long time here, and the engine said the two legal moves both are +9. 9. He ended up playing queen f6. He figured with the queens off, the ending's easier to calculate. Queen e8 check. Rook e7 actually fails. He didn't play rook e7. Rook c6 check. And this is a very nice draw, pointed out by the engine. Knight check, knight takes. We both queen. And more than one thing draws, but the most obvious way to draw is to check on e5 and take the h-pawn. And then we have queen and pawn against queen and pawn. So rook e7 actually doesn't win. So he played king d6, which does win. Now in this position, he played rook c4. An interesting move was queen e3, threatening knight b5 mate. Thanks, Spencer, for showing me that mate in 1, which I didn't see. And in this position, the best move is rook e7. Now knight b5 isn't mate because I play king d7 check, and I win your queen. So rook e7 attacks the queen and lets the king go to d7 with check. And there's not really a good move here. The engine says I have to give my queen away. That's not good. Okay, so instead of queen e3, he played rook c4. Now the engine wants to play rook a7 check, hoping for this checkmate. Always checkmate. Queen b7 mate is coming. And then it says after rook a7, we have to play king b6 or king b5. Rook here check. Eventually white wins. But he played the second best move, also winning pretty handily. Rook c7. Even though the king is on d6, it's pretty safe. Now if we play knight b5 check, which looks like it wins, I play king d5 check. I check you, you check me. Radjabov has the worst score in history. Okay, so this is winning for white. Also, you can't play rook takes rook. Or wait, he did play rook takes rook. So you can play rook takes rook, right?
No,
Oh no, he played king b5. That's better. Rook takes rook also loses almost immediately. King takes and bishop c6 check. That's pretty immediately. So he played rook king b5, which is the engine move. Queen e5 check, also the engine move. And here, rook d4 check is forced. But after king e7, our knight is attacked. And here comes the e-pawn. And the e-pawn's queening with check. It's hard to stop that pawn from queening. This pawn's pretty easy to stop. Rook a7, rook c1. So he went down quicker. Rook takes c7, trading rooks. e6, e7, and now black resigned. Black can play knight d6 if he doesn't want to resign. Then bishop d1, bishop b3. Black has no counterplay. White's going to queen and win the knight. And white wins the king and pawn ending easily, assuming black wastes 5 tempi and wins the bishop for the a-pawn. So in this position, after e7, black resigned. Really nice win from Fabi. Really nice technique. Another position for the cover of my book, never play f6. f6 clearly the losing move. His position wasn't so good before that. Back to the drawing board. And after that round, Fabi with +3, normally he'd be in first place. The truth hurts. So I hope you enjoyed that game. Keep watching for more recaps on YouTube and watch live at twitch.tv/GM Benjamin Finegold. Bye, YouTubers.
Bye, YouTube.
Yeah, you did it.
Good old YouTube. You did it.
You can make the standings now if you want. Is that easy to do from this computer?
No, I'll do it later.
Yeah. Anyway, Fabi has +3, Nepo Nishi has +4, and everybody else has nothing.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Everybody else terrible. So Radjabov and Ali Reza are tied for last?
I like how nobody wins games in this tournament.
That's right.
Only 2 people win.
Right,
games.
and somehow Nakamura won a game against Radjabov in 1,000 moves.
No, it was Radjabov. So.
It's true.
Everybody gets lucky once.
All right, who am I rating?
Go.
Benjamin
Bustos.
Bach, Jude, Mary Chess. What do you want?
They rated us. Why is it still saying?
Yeah, I noticed that they went back on.
That's crazy. Okay,
They are back on.
That's funny.
They rated us by accident.
You think so?
No.
No,
They're just done with this candidate, so
Right.
they're doing something else.
So I would say, whoever, one of these two.
Chess Dojo Biden.
All right, I like that Mari Chess laughs nonstop when I rate her, so we'll do that.
Yeah, we love Mari.
Chess.
Yay!
Chess.
Known her since she was a baby.
I had an epiphany that I would raid. Oh, somebody updated the standings.
Nice.
They were updated.
Nice.
Although it should be after round 7.
Right. Change it to round 7. Oh, and also it's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Nepo, Caruana.
That's from
that?
yesterday.
Yeah,
this
says
isn't changed.
Faruja has 2.
Maybe they're.
Faruja doesn't have 2.
Well, we'll
All right, the
fix it.
standings are wrong and the round is wrong. All right, we didn't update the standings, but we will. Bye, everybody.
Bye.